And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for being here tonight. I most certainly appreciate you guys. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me, live on the show. Merry Christmas to you. Merry early Christmas Eve. Mario Bowser, the mayor of DC, wants tomorrow to be Anthony Fauci Day for some reason. It's like, okay, lady, it's called Christmas Eve, not Anthony Fauci Day. Let your Trump derangement syndrome go, all right? Let it go, like how they say in Frozen, because you're going and doing way too much. We'll talk about all that stuff. We'll talk about the virus stimulus package. How Trump wants to, well, he may veto it. So much pork, so much fat. Giving millions to the Kennedy Center. You can't even go to the Kennedy Center. Same thing with the Smithsonian. Same thing with other places. Giving $2 million to Pakistan. Talking about gender studies in Pakistan. What would that do for anybody? Who knows? Kelly Loeffler is being accused of attacking the black church because she disagrees with Raphael Warnock, her political opponent. So I guess when the race card don't work, you got to play the religious card. This is really pathetic, but that's what they do over there on the left at this particular point in time. We'll talk about London lockdown as well. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live, and I appreciate y'all for being here yet again. Like I said before, you could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show. Yeah, I was a little bit late today. Blame the white man for that. I'm on a new PC, so I had to get my stuff together. I forgot I didn't have my song together. I didn't have my logo together, so I had to get all that stuff last minute. But I'm here, and we're back live in effect. And I got a new little a Christmas type background rather than the flag, which I'm always keep behind me. Of course, the flag's always going to be right in your line of sight. I have the snowflakes and all that good stuff. You know, the good snowflakes, not the trigger. I want to burn up a building snowflake. You know, I got the Christmas spirit going on. So hopefully you guys are able to enjoy your Christmas holiday and you're not locked down wherever you are. You can go see family and friends and all that good stuff. So hopefully everything, is good to go. All right. So yeah, we got a whole lot going on. So straight away, the virus stimulus package. Now, Trump has not expressly said he's going to veto it, as far as I know. For all, let me know in the comments. But he kind of hinted towards it. Like, yeah, might as well go ahead, veto it. It's like, what's the point? Because all these things in there, all this pork, all the fat, all the things that shouldn't be in there are in there in the bill. Okay, you want to give Americans $600, right? $600 US. Every American, well, not every American. If you make under a certain amount of money, $75,000 for a single person and $150 for a married couple, which should be the same thing, basically. You getting $600 each. If you file in jointly, you just basically get the same amount of money, but it's just for tax purposes, but different story. Anyway, so they're trying to roll that out, but if you gave every single man, woman, and child in America that $600, that'd be about $200 billion to make that happen. So why not just raise it to $400 billion or even $500 billion? You're still under the $900 billion that you've proposed. Where is the other $700 billion going if you're spending the maximum of $200 billion on giving what you were proposing from the very beginning, which was everybody get $600? Where is the other $700 billion going? Now, some of that $700 billion or more is going towards maybe some more PPE, maybe some more unemployment insurance extension. But where's the rest of it going? I saw Lindsey Graham on television. That might have been this morning or yesterday morning, like really trying to explain away some of the pork that's in the bill. Now, granted, he did say that foreign aid is a small percentage of federal spending. Okay, that's fine. But check it out. We're talking about the virus stimulus. I don't want to see anything else in there aside from the virus stimulus. Don't tell me about, oh, it's only a small piece. I don't care if it's insignificant. I don't care if it's 1 red cent out of the money. No money from the virus stimulus should be going to Pakistan to research gender studies. All right. If you don't know what gender you are in Pakistan by now, and you've been there since the dawn of man, you've been right there since the cradle of, you're in the cradle of civilization. You've been there since the dawn of man. If you can't figure it out yet, our monies aren't going to help you figure it out any better. All right. But Lindsey Graham went on Fox News telling me the plight of the Pakistani woman, talking about, oh, well, they can't make accounts by themselves and they got to get permission from their husband to do anything. They can't really spend money on their own. It's like, all right, so you're going to send money over there and then have the men that control everything, not the women, decide where the money goes. So you think that the men are going to fund the women to kind of like overthrow them? Does it make any sense to you? It doesn't make any sense to me. So why are we doing it? Now, somebody might say, oh, it's only 10 million. Only 10 million. Now, in the context of 700 billion or 900 billion to 2.3 trillion, 10 million is not that much compared to that. But if you were just to win, if you were to just get in your hands $10 million, that'd change your entire life. That'd change the life of yourself and your family. If you don't have that kind of money right now and you were given that kind of money, that'd change your whole world and the world of those that are around you. That'll change hundreds of lives potentially. So that's not a small amount of money. And you just throwing it away for what? Why? The whole thing with Pakistan is not even the only money in there that doesn't make any sense. You give money to foreign nations. You give money to Sudan, Israel, Nepal, all these countries. Every country that shouldn't be getting any. Nobody should get any money from the virus stimulus aside from the U.S., period. I don't care where they are, who they are. Nobody should get any of the monies except for us. Oh, it's raining because it's our money at the end of the day. That's what's going on with it. It said president wants $2,000 for each citizen. Told Congress no port. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. So, yeah, the port's gotta go. Now, Congress, well, at least those on the left, people like, was it AOC, Nancy Pelosi, they're saying, yeah, let's give $2,000 to each American citizen. But what they're not saying is, let's get rid of the pork. That's the most important thing, okay? You could give the $2,000, but if all you're going to do is place it on top of all the pork, then what's the point of doing it? It doesn't make any sense. Go ahead and replace all the pork and then give the extra monies to people that need it. Okay, and then open the country up. It can't just be give $2,000 and have that be that. What it needs to be is, okay, give $2,000 because you've put us on lockdown. All right, you owe us that money because you've told us that we can't work. You've closed our businesses. You've ruined the supply chain. Restaurants, all kind of businesses have been devastated by this whole shutdown and supply chain interruption, all of that. So you owe us for those months we've been down from your mandates, from your quote unquote recommendations. So pay us back for the time that we've lost up under your regulations. Now, what you could do is open the country back up. The shutdowns are not going to work. Okay. They've not shut down in, Sweden? It's funny how they talk about monetary policy. They talk about communism, socialism. Oh, look at Sweden. Look at Denmark. But then when it comes to the virus, they want to totally ignore them. They don't see what they see. Sweden, I think, is most certainly the benchmark and what we should be trying to do over here in the States. That the shutdowns don't work. Give citizens the ability to do things to protect themselves, but don't require them to be locked down. Don't shut businesses down. Don't ruin the supply chain and kill the economy. That's going to take years to be able to fix, if not generations to be able to fix, because what they've done with this whole shutdown thing, and they created all types of debt. I'm talking about trillions in debt. You understand how much $1 trillion is? Like the GDP of the entire planet is not even $100 trillion. And we've gone trillions into debt just this year. I say probably we've jumped up probably about 8 trillion in debt just this 1 year in the United States alone by itself because of the virus. Okay, PPP and all these checks going out for what? If you give us $2,000 right now, we're going to be right back in the same situation in a very short period of time. So what we should do is open back up and get everything back rocking and rolling the way it should be, rather than trying to, finagle our way through it. All right. But so you got Pelosi, you got hold on, somebody at my door. Oh, I thought somebody knocking on my door. So you got Pelosi, you got Schumer, you got quite a few guys that are saying, okay, go ahead and give $2,000, but they're not saying, hey, we need to go ahead and get rid of the pork. They don't want to get rid of the pork. They want to keep the pork and add more money, but we can't do that. So I think Trump might veto the whole bill. If Trump vetoes the bill, then what they're going to do is they're going to come in and override them. They have enough votes to be able to override. Did you know that? If you have enough votes in the Senate, you can potentially override a bill. That's what they might want to try to do. All right. So if they do that, then at that point, you know that they're about themselves. They're about kind of like that deep state swamp thing. They're not really about you. You are not as important as they are. You're not as important as the big money donors and the lobbyists and whatnot are. Okay, I think Trump was able to expose that by becoming the president. He was able to expose what's really going on. How some of these guys, it's not even about party. It's all about just, who funded their whole campaign. It's all about being able to grab power. That's what it's really about. Shout out to Rand Paul. Made a lot of sense today and always makes a lot of, well, I won't say always agree with him, but he makes a lot of sense when it comes to money. Okay, this debt is totally out of control. Now, did Trump veto the entire bill or just the NDA, like the defense bill? Okay, so what was it, the entire thing or just that one particular piece of it? Because there's all kind of things going on. You got the regular government spending, that's 1.4 trillion, which is too much anyway. Then you have the virus stimulus, it's like 900 billion. So I'm not really sure if he vetoed the entire bill, if he could do it piecemeal, or what's going on with that. But we'll see. Candace says we haven't been important for years. Yeah, see, the what's going on is the people are becoming important. The people are setting up, because the way they had it before is you just vote and you don't even really care who you vote for. You just go out there, push a lever on a national level, at least, especially on a national level. You go out there and vote, and that's it. Okay, a good show to watch on television is called The Wire. If you got some time, if you've not seen it yet, watch The Wire, because they show you how everything goes, how corrupt things can be in just one city in Baltimore, Maryland. Now, take that same corruption and apply it to the entire United States. That's kind of what's going on right now with the corruption. Okay, big time corruption. Okay, so it was on the defense bill. Yeah. Now, they've said that they're going to come back on the 28th, meaning, Congress, they're going to come back and override that veto. And the question is why? Why are they trying to veto? Why are they trying to go against what what the American people want? We voted for Trump. The first time we voted for Trump, like 65 million people. This time it was like 75 million people. So they're going to get some will of 75 million people to veto these bills. Why? For what purpose? For what reason? Now, I also heard in the virus stimulus bill that if you are an illegal alien, you could get up to like $1,800. So, American citizen, 600, illegal alien, up to 1,800. Is that true? I'm not really sure. But if you are an illegal alien or not a citizen, you shouldn't get any money. It's for American citizens, because if you're not a citizen, you could just go back to the crib, right? If things aren't going well for you in the United States and you're not a citizen, you can go back to your country of origin and figure it out there. Let that government take care of you if you are owed anything by that government. So let's say, for example, you come from UK, right? And you came to the US to work on a green card or a visa, whatever it is, whatever you get to come over here and work. And you've been over here for a while. You should not be getting any kind of monies. What you should do, if things ain't really going right, if the pandemic hits you, go back to UK and figure it out there. Let Boris Johnson and them give you some money to take care of whatever you got going on. Okay, because you are a UK citizen, not a US citizen. So if you're a non-citizen, you shouldn't get any money at all, period. I don't care if you're just a border hopper or a H-1B worker. That's just how I feel. Like I said, you have a country of origin you can go back to. you're still a citizen of, go back there and let them help you. If you're coming from Nigeria, you coming from China, you coming from Russia, you coming from Mexico, I don't care where you coming from, go there and let them help you. If they can't help you, hey, that's not our fault. That's not my prerogative. That's not a thing that I'm concerned about. Speaking about me not being concerned about things, back to my man Lindsey Graham. I was so appalled. He went on television. I'm watching TV in the morning, eating my oatmeal for breakfast or whatever, just minding my business. Here's Lindsey Graham. I'm like, okay, Lindsey Graham's talking. I'm a little interested. Let's see what he got to say. And then he goes on there and speaks about the plight of the Pakistani woman. I like, man, look, I understand how you feel, but I don't care. I don't care about women in Pakistan. I don't care about any other country. Let's let us handle what we got going on here first. So I think that kind of comment that he made that I talked about earlier as well, it kind of shows the tone deaf nature of some of these guys and girls that are in the government. All right. Not understanding that Americans have, we have a greater concern other than what they think is actually important. Period. Okay. And hey, thank y'all for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys for watching. If you enjoy what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. You guys are the best in the world. So yeah, that stimulus package, go ahead, cut all the pork, cut all the fat. Matter of fact, I don't want to have anything else in the stimulus package except for the monies that go straight to the American people. That's it. No buddy stuff, no lobbyists, no foreign nations, no companies. The worst one that I was talking about in the video is the Kennedy Center. You can't even go there. And they got money in the last one. They've not had anything happening at the Kennedy Center since March of this year. So you're talking about 9 months they've been closed, but yet we're funding them through virus stimulus, okay? And there's probably money already earmarked for them from the federal government. I hear they have like $500 million on hand, like over $500 million, on hand they have in their pocket. So why are they getting more money from us? They don't have enough. They got private donors. They got the federal government. What are we even doing? The Kennedy Center is owned by the government. So if it's owned by the government, they have like $600 million in cash. Why are they getting more money from us through this virus stimulus? Why did they get money in the first one, and why are they getting money in this one? How does it make any sense? None of this makes any sense. It's stupid. Eliminate all the pork and the fat. And then the most important thing, open the country back up. How long can we stay locked down? They say, okay, once we get the vaccine, it'll be over with. But London is shut down again. Totally shut down. There's no traffic in there. It's just totally dead. It's like thousands of trucks that are stopped. They can't even leave from UK to France because of the shutdown. They're calling it the Plague Island. It's a brand new strain, and it's leash. This reminds me of plenty of movies and video games and TV series that I've seen before. It was something on FX called The Strain. It was just like this. Okay, the virus starts like on New York, like in Manhattan, on an island, and it spreads, and they're trying to shut the island off, and they blew the bridges up. You couldn't leave the island, and they try to nuke the island and eliminate the virus right there. 28 days later, I Am Legend, The Division, the video game. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And if it were some kind of really deadly and dangerous virus where you might turn into a wolf or something like that, we lose that battle because, okay, it's all over the place. They say they got the virus in Antarctica as some kind of base. I think it's at a military base or something like that in Antarctica. So the virus is everywhere. There's no point in shutting down. There's no point in doing anything like that to try and stop it. What's the reasoning behind it? It doesn't make any sense at all. Open back up. You have a 99.99% survival rate. You may get it and have complications, but you'll be okay. You'll survive at the end of the day. You'll be just fine. There's no reason to shut everything down. All you're going to do is just ruin the economy. And speaking about London, it totally shut down. Again. Now, I heard they were going to try to open back up pretty soon. It might be a soft lockdown and then open back up. But you can't even go outside. You can't go anywhere. Nothing is going on. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find a picture or a video. Okay, let me see. Uh, oh yeah, the trucks. So at the UK France border, they got trucks lined up, miles lined up. Matter of fact, here's a picture right here. Not the very not a very good picture, but we'll see if we can get a better one. Okay, there it is. So I guess they've relaxed that ban. I'm not really sure, but let me go ahead and put that up right quick. There we go. So yeah, you got trucks that are lined up for miles, miles and miles. They're just parked because they can't go anywhere because they're scared of the virus coming from UK. I mean, you can't stop it though. People, they gotta travel. You gotta be able to get things from point A to point B. People got to get goods and services. You got to get gas, food, water. You can't just live with no travel happening. You got to have some things going on. So the question is, what are they really going to do to? I mean, you got to stop this shutdown stuff. It's not helping. It's not making any sense at all. It's just kind of ridiculous. Okay, and then the economic impact is going to be tremendous. It's going to be very bad. So we got to stop it. We most certainly have to stop the nonsense. All right. Oh, and speaking about nonsense and ridiculous things, have you guys seen the whole issue with Kelly Loeffler versus Raphael Warnock? Now we all know what's going on in Georgia right now. They have the Senate race, and they're trying to get that whole thing going on. They're trying to get Loeffler and David Perdue to win over John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Now they're saying Kelly Loeffler is somehow racist and maybe even a bigot, a religious bigot, because she is attacking Raphael Warnock as being a radical. So she's saying that, well, not she's saying, they're saying that by her calling him a radical, that she is attacking the black church because what he stands for, so does a black church. So abortion and stuff. So using the Bible to justify abortion is somehow part of the black church. You know, I'm not sure what this black church is, where you sign up for it, where their branches are nationwide, but I don't want to be any part of it. If the black church says it's okay to, beat your wife allegedly, if they say it's okay to engage in abortion, if they say that it's okay to engage in this Black Lives Matter, this riotous action, this Marxist subversive behavior, destroying the nation, if they say it's okay, I don't want anything to do with it. Now, if I speak out against it, I'm not against a quote unquote black church. I'm not a religious bigot or a bigot against religion. It's not even about that. It's about just wanting the best thing, looking at things for what they are rather than what some may think that it should be. All right. So, and that's ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm looking at things for what they are, just the reality of the whole situation. But of course, there's this big letter that was signed by over 100 pastors, and they're calling her. They're saying that she's attacking the black church. There was a whole big op-ed on this news website talking about the GOP's war on the black church. I'm like, really? War on the black church? For real? Like I said, I don't know what this black church is. I'm not sure what its address is. I'm not sure where the headquarters is. I don't know who is the person that's running it or anything like that. But if they believe in things that I think they believe in, I don't want any parts of it. But if we're referring to churches with black membership, that's been dead for years. That's been dead for a long time. You go to one of these churches in the ghetto or whatever, it ain't nothing but a bunch of women and children, no men. And if you do have men, you're gonna have gay men that are behind the organ. Nothing against gay men, but at a certain point, you're gonna have to have heterosexual men. The church at one point used to be the center of the community. It used to be where, like, the only person in the black community that could read or write was a preacher. So you depended upon him to get any kind of information. That's what my grandfather told me, because he come up in that time where that was the case. So the preacher man, he was the only one that could read or write, and the church parishioners, the flock, looked to him to really be the leader, to explain what's going on in the world, to just, he was their gateway to the greater world around them. But now the preacher man ain't nothing but a guy just trying to get. It's like a hustle, really. At the end of the day, and they know that they can hustle women and children with emotionalism. They go in there, they pass a plate around, they're giving their Arby's and Food Line check, they're putting him right in there. Meanwhile, preacher man living high on the hill. He has his pick from the flock, a bunch of single women that are vulnerable to this man. That's part of the reason why I'm not in church myself. I saw that. I saw that growing up as a kid. I saw the hypocrisy, the ridiculousness, the how the church, the black church, or the churches in the black community have been infected with liberalism. Now I got to pause. This is not all churches, nor is it all quote unquote black churches. I understand that, but there's too much of that stuff going on. So while they're trying to attack Kelly Loeffler for attacking the black church, they need to look within and fix their own church. All right. If you have this guy, Raphael Warnock, who allegedly beat his wife or ran over her foot during the altercation, okay, who is a radical, according to his own sermons, if you have this guy leading your flock, you have deeper problems than what Kelly Loeffler said, which was nothing but pointing out the facts. Okay, let's not forget that Raphael Warnock is an Ebenezer Baptist in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken, in Atlanta, Georgia, when you had Eddie Long at New Birth. The guy who was in Baltimore, who was also a big time BLM supporter, Jamal Bryant, is also at New Birth. So you traded one guy that was a pedophile, Chomo, who died, probably of AIDS. You replace him with a BLM rabble rouser from Baltimore and Atlanta. So you got bigger problems than Raphael Warnock being quote unquote attacked by Kelly Loeffler. All right. And I was always told that if you are a member of a church, or if you are a pastor, minister, preacher, you cannot endorse a political candidate. But they're doing that vis-a-vis this letter and stuff like that. There was also 230 quote unquote pastors that signed a letter that condemned the SBC's condemnation of what's that, critical race theory. And critical race theory is this whole big this program, this, I don't know what you call it, kind of a cult that basically seeks to paint white people as a devil, as evil, as racist, as hateful, and it paints the black person as just good, kind, loving, caring, and a victim, and can't do anything without the white man's help. It's really just kind of the victimhood pamphlet, and it's also a way to get people to hate others. It's a hateful doctrine. It's a doctrine of defeatism. It doesn't make any sense to teach that anywhere. So they're against it, and 230 so-called pastors are mad that people are against it. So it's like, what are we doing? You have bigger problems than Kelly Loeffler, but I digress. So yeah, somebody said Warnock the Warlock, hilarious. Yeah, Raphael Warnock. But I'm interested to see what's going to happen in Georgia as far as the results of the election that's coming up very soon. So if you're in Georgia, you can vote for the senators. Please go out there and vote. I saw something that was kind of troubling. It may be true, it may be false, but whatever it is very troubling. This is out of Atlanta as well. Speaking about Atlanta pastors and the hypocrisy and the nonsense. This is also out of Atlanta. And shout out to the guy that sent it to me. I appreciate you for that, boss. I do read your DMs all the time on the Twitters and my emails and everything. But I'm going to try to find it right quick. What it was a picture of a sign that was basically saying, hey, you can get paid to vote. I'm going to find that picture. And just one moment, you hang tight. I will find it. But it's most certainly a big time problem. All right, hold on. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, there it is. Perfect. Okay. Now again, this is in Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. I'm gonna get this in a separate tab so you can't see the guy's stuff. And here we go. So there we go. So what's going on with this? Do you guys see this on my screen? If you can't, if you're just listening to the stream later, it says, vote Democrat, get cash. This appears to be some kind of one of those moving, it's like a truck that has the the advertisers on it that change. Like, so if you see one of these trucks driving, it's like panels that'll move up and down to have a different ad on it at certain periods of time. So it'll show one ad for one set of time, the next ad for next set of time. This one says vote Democrat, get cash. Now I don't know what this is, what's going on. Is it an anti-Democrat ad? Is it a pro-Democrat ad? Is it real? Is it fake? I have no idea. Now, somebody says at the bottom of it, votes for sale in Georgia. It's 12:42 p.m. and I just saw this truck at the Edgewood Shopping Center in East Atlanta, and I can't believe what I saw. Now, if you know Edgewood, East Atlanta, that's the hood. So, what's going on with this? I don't know. This could be an anti-Democrat ad, anti-Biden ad. I see a website or some kind of text at the bottom of this. It says something about, it's like it says, get Biden. So it could be anti-Biden, but if it were real and a thing to actually help Democrats, I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised at all because that's going on. We saw that with Ilhan Omar up there in Minneapolis, this whole ballot harvesting. We saw that going on. So, what's really going on with that? It's not like we've not seen it advertised before, but we have seen it actually happen. We've seen it on tape where guys are getting paid for their ballots. That's a real thing that's going on. So I'm kind of worrying about like what's going on with that in reality. Okay. But you know what? It could be pro-Democrat because it's a blue truck. But then again, we've seen some billboards out there in Georgia that appear to be pro-Trump but aren't pro-Trump, that have misleading messages on them to make us not go out there and vote, to discourage us from voting, talking about, oh, well, the GOP let you down, don't reward them. That's straight coming from the Democrats. So this could be kind of a counteract. But if it came straight from the Democrats or for a pro-Democratic type of pack, wouldn't be surprised. Not at all, not in the least bit. I definitely don't think that it would be from it wouldn't be from the Democratic Party itself. They're not going to be that bold, but maybe from some kind of Democrat-friendly group, it most certainly would make sense for that to be the case. All right. So, yeah, it's a whole lot going on. Oh, if I didn't get into that a little bit earlier, did you guys see where they made, in D.C., the mayor of D.C., Muriel Bowser, has made tomorrow, Christmas Eve, as she made it Anthony Fauci Day. Literally Anthony Fauci. So rather than just say Merry Christmas, you're going to have December 24th be Anthony Fauci Day. Because I think tomorrow is his birthday. So they're going to make that Anthony Fauci Day. Now, we all know that this is just Trump derangement syndrome. It's the same reason why they paint Black Lives Matter on the ground or right in front of the White House. It's the same reason why they paint Black Lives Matter on the ground in New York City right in front of the Trump Tower. You got Bill de Blasio and his crooked thieving wife right in front of it, celebrating. Right, it's a big photo op right in front of the Trump Tower. Matter of fact, let me find a picture right quick. Okay, Trump Tower, Black Lives Matter. And then that particular sign right there, right on Trump Tower, is guarded by police. But there's other Black Lives Matter signs all over New York City. It's one in Harlem, right on 125th Street, and Lenox, right in the hood. That's not guarded. There's another one in Bronx, Brooklyn, if I'm not mistaken. It's all over the place. There's 5 more of those Black Lives Matter signs, the same as the one that's in Manhattan, right on 5th Street, right in front of Trump Tower. But see, matter of fact, there it is. That's the ticket right there. But this one that Bill de Blasio was in front of is the only one that is guarded by the police. Okay, so, and then also, there's one more guy right there. You might recognize him right next to Bill de Blasio. And that's it's like Al Sharpton right there. So, you see, this is Trump Tower. They got the Black Lives Matter. You see they got these long paint handles, whatever you call it, paint rollers. You have Bill de Blasio's wife, and she black, so diversity. Then you have Will Willem, a.k.a. Bill de Blasio, and then Al Sharpton with his National Action Network sign on. another lady with a National Action Network sign on, another guy with the BLM sign, and then right in front of the Trump Tower. All right, photo op, nothing else other than that. Just trying to give Trump the middle finger. And then there's a BLM sign right in front of the White House, right on 16th Street in DC. And then they renamed that street right there BLM Square, and I've been right there too. It's not needed. All it does is just create an area in which some of these Nimrods congregate. It just creates problems. It reminds me when I used to go down to Virginia Beach on the 4th of July, and it'd be a bunch of knuckleheads from the community. They go out there and want to fight because you created this environment, not intentionally on the 4th of July, but because it's a holiday, a lot of tourists around, guys trying to get money, try to rob. A lot of them guys from the hood will come there to congregate to do that. And with this, it's kind of the same situation. You're creating an environment where these guys want to come out there and do stuff. This is in DC, and you see the White House right in the back. Okay, if you look straight up in the picture, you'll see the White House back there. That was done on purpose. So it's like the gateway to the White House. Even though you probably won't even walk that way to go to the White House, it just looks like that when you see it on pictures. That's all it is. So then, going back to the mayor of DC, she sanctioned that whole thing with the BLM sign right in front of the White House, or right in the way to the White House. Then she also says that tomorrow, Christmas Eve, is now known as Anthony Fauci Day in Washington, D.C. Matter of fact, let me find it right quick. Here it is. Okay, so it's on the screen before you. This is Mayor Muriel Bowser, mayor of D.C. She black. In honor of Dr. Fauci's 80th birthday tomorrow, a little bit too old, go ahead and retire, but anyway, I proclaim Thursday, December 4th, 2020, Dr. Anthony S. Fauci Day in Washington, D.C. We are incredibly proud to count Dr. Fauci among the many D.C. residents who are sacrificing so much to keep our communities healthy and safe. Now, my question is this. What exactly is sacrificing? What is sacrificing? He's still getting his paycheck, ain't he? He's still getting his paycheck for not doing much, because what did he say at the very beginning of the whole thing? All right, you don't need to wear a mask. It might block a droplet or two, but it's not going to help you, all this and that. That's what he said at the very beginning. And then he changed his stance. What has he actually done? Is he out there treating patients? Like, what has he actually done aside from just go on television and be the anti-Trumper inside the White House? You tell me. That's the reason why the left likes him so much, is because he's like a mole inside the White House. If not for that, they would have no use for him. Not in the least bit. So it's like, what are we even doing? Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. Why would you even do that? Just leave that as Christmas Eve. Why create an entire day for this man? It's because he is seen as an anti-Trumper inside the White House. They're congratulating him, not for any kind of medical achievement, not for any kind of advances in science, medicine. No. It's about the Trump derangement syndrome. And they say that Trump lost, so it's like, all right, what are you even still doing? Move on with your life. If you say that we got to move on, then you move on. Now, I'm not saying we even done with the whole situation, but if I'm to be told to move on, forget about it, don't try to fight any kind of voter fraud, all right, if that's the case, then you lead by example. Don't be a hypocrite. Tell me to do one thing that you don't do yourself. Do as I say, never as I do. Pretty typical. But that's how the ball bounces in Washington, D.C. Okay, a lot of silly stuff going on. Oh, yeah, they see Anthony Fauci as a god, for sure. That's right. Somebody says, Hudson says, but Bowser sees Fauci as a god. That's hilarious. Yeah. She really does. And that mask ain't doing nothing. He knows the mask ain't doing it, because he said it already. You can't tell me that Fauci says the masks don't work, then wants to come back and say it does work. Like, either it does or it doesn't. Pick one. You can't just change your mind in the middle of it. If you're 80 years old, you've been in medicine since the beginning of man, since Jesus was walking planet Earth, and now all of a sudden in your 1,000th year of living, you want to change your mind about masks. Masks ain't changed since you had that decision, since you had that thought in your mind to know that it didn't work. So why change it now? But anyway, I digress. Thank y'all again for being here. Definitely appreciate you guys. What else we got going on? But yeah, that virus stimulus package, we're going to see if that whole thing gets vetoed or not. But like I was saying earlier, I think they have the power in Congress to counteract the veto, to override the veto, and they're going to meet on the 28th to potentially override the defense bill, maybe something else. Now, as far as the video I posted from Trump earlier today, where you're talking about giving out 2,000 and eliminating the pork, I heard through the grapevine, allegedly, may be true, may be false, but I heard that some officials in the White House, some quote unquote advisors of Trump, tried to get him to not tweet that video out about a $2,000 checks that he wanted to give to the American people. Now, I think I might know why, because here's what Democrats want to do. They're going to try to play it like this. All right, they came out with a bill that says we're going to give Americans make a certain amount of money, $600, right? Trump says, no, we're not going to do that. Cut the pork, cut the fat from the bill, and give out 2,000. They're going to say, all right, cool, you got 2,000, and they won't address the pork or the fat. So then they're going to come back, write the bill again. And it's funny how you can write a 6,000 page bill in a blink of an eye. You can't even read it that fast. So how was it written so fast? But I digress. It kind of reminds me of when Dave Chappelle was on a movie set and they wanted him to wear a dress. It was part of the script, and then they had this whole big argument with him when he said he didn't want to wear it. He was like, man, I'm not wearing that dress. They were like, man, why you being so difficult? We already got the scene written, everything set up. But he was adamant about not wearing a dress. And then they came back 5 minutes later with a whole new scene. It's like, okay, did you just write that scene because I said I didn't want to wear the dress? Or was it already prepared? Are you playing games? But I digress. Anyway, they're going to come back with a whole new bill, same amount of pages, totally rewritten in a very short period of time. And they're going to keep a bunch of fat in there. They might cut some key things, but they're going to keep the majority of the fat. Rather than having 100% lean, 99% lean. All right? It'll be some things in there that you still don't want. But anyway, they're going to come back with that. Trump's going to say it's still not right, still too much pork, still too much fat. I'm going to veto, I'm not going to sign it. Then they're going to say, well, he was bluffing, he didn't really want to sign. We trying to give him $2,000. That's what they said he wanted. He didn't want to do it. And then they're going to override his veto, and they're going to put in the first one for 600. That's what they're going to do, in my humble opinion. All right, that's going to be what they're going to try to do. But if that happens, you already know what's going on. You got some guys on the left and the right. They got some answers. They got some explaining to do. All right, why have all this pork and this fat in this bill? Don't have anything in the bill except for virus relief, period. I think I saw Ilhan Omar. That Ilhan Omar, the cheater, the literal cheater in multiple ways, election cheater, allegedly, marital cheater, allegedly, incestuous person, allegedly. That same person came out and said, let's have one bill just straight for the virus relief, and that's it, and address some of the other funding in different bills. I was like, wow, that was very good. Okay, that was very good. That was very well said. Broken clock right twice a day, I suppose. That was right on point. That's what we should have. And really, it's not even all the way right. I would say eliminate all the virus stuff. Eliminate all the excess pork in the virus bill and keep only the virus relief. Have that be it. So we're going to see. We're definitely going to see. But shout out to the people on the internet that have been able to read the bill, because these bills do become public, if I'm not mistaken, and people read them. It might be a team of guys on the internet and just, they breeze through it. Some of these guys on Reddit and everywhere else, all these forums, they're going to breeze through it. They might have like a whole team. It's like, okay, we got 6,000 pages. You read 100, if you read 100 pages today, I read 100 pages a day. You read 100, I read 100, and keep going and going and going. You got a nice big team. You can read all the pages. You can collaborate, highlight certain things, point out certain details, get some lawyers on it. If you don't understand some of the legalese in it, get a lawyer to translate it for you, and then you'll be able to figure out what's going on better than Congress can. I think we should do that. I think when these bills come out, there can be some things we can do to eliminate a lot of the confusion. First thing is give us a little bit more time to read it. Don't just say, okay, here's the bill. You have 6 hours to read it and make a decision. That's ridiculous. That's just At that point, you're trying to hide things because you can't read it as one person in 6 hours. It's not enough time to read that many pages and to fully comprehend it and understand what's going on. It's impossible. You got things written in legalese and things written in a certain way to where it's intentionally kind of confusing and obfuscating. You can't read it in 6 hours. You got to have a whole team. So eliminate that thing, but also when we have more time to read it, let it get out to the general public and let teams of people that are independent comb over it, interpret it, and then compare results with other teams. You may have one team over here in UK, not UK, pardon me. One team like in Seattle, Washington, one team in Atlanta, one team in New York, one team here, one team there. Have like 20 teams of guys reading it, compare your notes, and then figure out what's going on, and then give that to members of Congress, and then they can be able to vote on it from there. That's what should happen, in my humble opinion. But hey, what do I know? All right. We got super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to the calls. You guys know the drill. The number to call, 434-658-1220. I'll get to that in just a moment. Super chats, and then I'm going to get to the calls. So we got quite a few from my main man, Apu Bakar Alpuff Daddy. I'll read those right quick, and then I get to the rest. He says, Merry Christmas, ABL. What holiday traditions did y'all have growing up in the Logan family? Did you finish building your computer? How was it? Yeah, the computer is done. Matter of fact, if I can get you a picture of it, I'll put it up on the screen. Not on the screen. Matter of fact, yeah, I'll put it on the screen. I'll just send it to myself, put it on the screen. But yeah, when I was a kid, basic stuff, decorate the tree. What I would do a lot as a kid was just travel, go back to West Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, and just hang out with family. That's my main thing I did. Got a tree, get a real tree from the store. In the apartment, yes, we watered it, make sure it wasn't burning up or nothing like that. Never had any problems with the tree catching on fire. Decorate it, get some of them razor sharp ornaments. I'm talking about things, man, it's the straight steel that's thin as a razor. Like literally. What you might cut, what you may cut grass with is what we had for ornaments at a particular point. Super sharp. But yeah, that's what we did. Get the ornaments out, razor sharp, put them on the real tree, and or go travel back home, West Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, hang out with family. That's what we did. Christmas is always a really family oriented time. And hopefully you guys are able to visit family or at least, talk to them or in some kind of way be around them. They're trying to cancel Christmas, talking about, oh, you can't have more than 10. Anybody following that? If you want to have a Christmas celebration, then go ahead and do that because they can't keep us locked down forever. They can't just say, oh, you can't go anywhere anymore and that's going to be it. No, if you want to visit your family, then go ahead and do it. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. Okay. So, matter of fact, let me do this here. All right. And okay, let's download it. Doesn't want to work. All right, let's do this. Yeah, that's fine because it ain't going to show. Cool. So here is the rig. So here's the rig. I have this is a mid ATX case. I have an old graphics card in it. That's an XFS. That's an XFX RX 580 8 GB graphics card. The motherboard, that's a B55 B550E Asus ROG Strix. The processor AMD Ryzen 9 3950X. The RAM, I have two sticks, 16 GB ballistics. Yeah, ballistics DDR 3200. I got two M2 SSDs, 1 TB each, and also one just regular SSD, 2 TB. And it's real clean. The wires, like these right here, kind of just, I could have done that better as far as my cable management, but everything was pretty clean. Power supply, I got a Corsair 750 watt in a spot down here. So everything's real clean, real crispy, real put together, real nice. And this is normally closed in by a tinted window case. It looks real, real good. RGB on the RAM, and this I had a fan back there for a long time in my supplies because I was going to build another rig with it. I built my wife's rig and she did not need that fan, so I kept it and I put that in there. And then the motherboard is also RGB, so I can change it with effects through the program on my desktop. But it works like a charm. If I can get my hands on a new motherboard, I'm gonna do that. I mean the graphics card, I'm gonna do that. But for right now, that's what I got. And the cooler is a Be Quiet. I forget the name of that thing, but it's a pretty good cooler. Like right now, it's kind of like freaking me out because it's so quiet. I'm not used to it being so quiet in here when I'm recording. It's crazy. Yeah, but that's the rig right there. So it's lit. The fan does change colors, so does the RAM, and so does the motherboard. I can control it from my desktop. I can do whatever I want. I can make it strobe and I can do rainbow. I can change it to specific colors. I can make my own design on it. It's really good. Oh, and the fans, I forgot to say, there's a fan right there in the back, of course, obviously. Right here. There's also two fans right there in the front. I could add a third one, but I don't need to do all that. Because then I gotta take this part out and take off the front of the case. It's just a little bit too daunting, but that's what it is. And the front right here is mesh. So it's really good for airflow. It's not just cut off and you know stat like that. Oh, we got tea on deck. Thank you. Yeah, got my tea time. So that's what it is. That's what I've been doing for a little while, building a new rig. It's really just future proofing it just to make sure that I got nice, good streams and I can get my stuff edited quickly, rendered quickly, and I'm good for the future. So that's what it is. How much? I can't disclose that, but it's not too. It ain't too bad. It ain't too bad. My only thing I want really is a new graphics card, but those things are so hard to come by. It's impossible. The graphics card is really old. That's like from about 4 years ago when it first came out. But it still works pretty good for what I need it for. But I would like a new card. But that's where I'm at right now. And the way I have it is prepared for a new card. My old rig, it was outdated, an old motherboard. I couldn't really do anything more with it. And it was a smaller case. I had a mini ITX. This is a mid, which is a little bit better, and it's a little bit better to be able to build and customize. All right. So, all right, back to super chats right quick, and then I will get to the calls a little bit later. Let me get back to where I was. Okay. Also, Apu says, "Hey ABL, favorite Christmas carol? I like Hark and the Herald Angels, David's Royal City, Mary's Boy Child, Winter, Wonderland, We Three Kings, Sin, Auld Ain Sin." I actually don't know because I hear Christmas carols and I don't know what they are. So I couldn't tell you what my favorite is by names I don't know it. All right. Oh, Icarus 72. I had an AIO, but I have an AIO actually. I have a spare one. I have a Corsair. I think it's a Corsair AIO, just a small radiator and a fan. But I prefer the air. I think it's quieter. The AIO was actually pretty loud. This is like dead sound. I can't even hear it at all, and it's not even hot. Shout out to Apu who says Merry Christmas to all the ABL fans. Nate Logan Lewis from Spain. Butt versus Windshield. Your mother was a hamster. Rapper 10,000. Killer Sushi. Zedochi's Kane Sword. Threat Level Midnight. And Ivan 2. He also says, "What's up, Virginia ABL? Governor Northam removes Robert E. Lee statue, but gets reelected wearing white robes and blackface. Hypocrisy much?" Hey, you know what? That's a really good question. As far as that's a really good question. As far as Governor Northam, the problem with Virginia is Northern Virginia. Without Northern Virginia, Virginia is like North Carolina or South Carolina, maybe even Georgia, Tennessee. Northern Virginia is just so liberal. Guys and girls, they're from all over the country. Northern Virginia is like New York City or San Francisco, Seattle. It's a transient type place with a lot of liberals. And it's even worse in Northern Virginia because all the government people, once government gets bigger and bigger and bigger, you're gonna have more liberals coming there that got money. They feel like they know everything and they want to try to dominate and control people by their vote. So they go out there and they become more radicalized. That's why Virginia is the way it is. They don't care that Governor Blackface, they don't care about his yearbook picture at age 25 when he's supposed to be a grown man with a beard in the family. They don't care about that. All they care about is he's a liberal. We're going to vote for him. That's what's going on. Shout out to Luray. All right, Virginia. I've been to Luray Caverns. Beautiful, beautiful caverns when I was a kid. Went to the little gift shop, got some rocks. I had a good time on Luray Caverns. All right. Shout out to Apple who says, 1-2 rep Maxine Waters, Democrat, says military or Secret Service should drag President Trump out of White House. She lives in a millionaire mansion and gives her daughter thousands of dollars while her constituents live in poverty. Voters, please vote out Democrats. Democrats. My fault. Thank you for that. Hi, Drip. I know I'm turning your name up and I'm sorry. Says, why are black men in general so obsessed with their mothers? Because a lot of black men grow up in a single parent household where it's only the mom that's like the only adult. That's the only point of reference. And then if you have like a single mom with one son, then that's a whole different situation. Because then at that point, the son becomes man of the house. You understand? So like if you are like 14 years old and you're living with your mom as the son, you're the man of the house. Any man that comes around, you got to defend and protect. It's just a weird situation. So it's just a matter of not having a dad in the house. If you had a mom and a dad in the house, you would be looking at your parents as parents rather than seeing your mother as like a friend or kind of a peer. You understand? That's kind of how that goes. Hot Drip says, what do you think about Jesse Lee Peterson saying, see, you asking me weird questions. I'm not gonna tackle that one on this show. Maybe I might do that in a different show, but not in this one. But what I said to that question applies to that one too. All right, just leave it right there. Zach says it's crazy how the left is and how social media is. Be careful with your videos. They banned my main channel for a week, but Merry Christmas, everybody. Have a good one. And thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate you. You know what? You guys have been asking me for a long time. Get on BitChute, get over here, get over there. It's time I did that. It's past time. I should have been done it a long time ago, but yeah, I'm gonna do it. YouTube has been pretty good to me, really, because I'm black. I'm keeping it real. I know guys that are content creators on YouTube say the same things I say, but they're white and they male. Oh, forget about it. It's some racism going on for sure. So I feel like I need to diversify myself and go to more places. I have my website, obviously. That's going to be my hub always. But as far as video content and having the following, aside from a website, I'm going to get on more platforms. But YouTube for now is still pretty good. But I know that it may not last forever. Put it like that. As far as YouTube being good to me, that black card might wear out. You understand? Let me see. Zach says we need to focus on America, not Pakistan or other countries. In gender programs, we need Trump. There you go. Andrea Timmer said, thanks for being you. No problem. Thank you for your very kind words. Yeah, Rumble. I'm gonna have to get on Rumble and what's that? BitChute. I don't like Parler. I don't like Parler, but I think for my content, I think the video is where I'm gonna really get it. So Rumble and BitChute. Definitely BitChute too. Joshua says Lindsey Graham, just like the bee who raised him. Wow. I didn't say it. Joshua said it. Doug says, ABL, thank you for being the voice of the voiceless. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Miss Logan. Thank you for that. I appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you as well. Wolfgang says, my mom just shared this with me. Quote, give the government the vaccine first. If it works, they are safe. If it doesn't, the country is safe. That's a good one. Thank you for that. Let me go back to where I was. Shout out to the Alpha and the Omega who says Trump advised Iran to think twice before harming any American. Said it was in their best interest health-wise to avoid it. That's my president. Exactly. There you go. I like that. I like that talk. Let me see. JW says, sad black pastors won't check our promiscuous behavior and embarrassing high out of wedlock birth rate. These pastors are jokes. You'll never hear it. Exactly. Yeah, the promiscuous behavior, like, in the quote unquote black church, a lot of these pastors getting the parishioners pregnant, or, some of these pastors touching the boys and the girls. But I'm going to go down that road, family show, but you understand what I'm talking about. Like I was saying earlier, there's deeper problems in the so-called black church than Raphael Warnock versus Kelly Loeffler. You understand? There should be a big letter, an open letter to some of these weirdos in the church that are touching the parishioners and doing things they shouldn't be doing. that are having side babies in the, like Jamal Bryant, prime example. Side chicks in the congregation, you up there preaching, man, thou shalt not sin, all this and that. Meanwhile, you got a whole baby by a lady in the congregation, and you married somebody that's not her. So what's really going on, sir? But don't get me started. So let me go ahead and digress. Thank you to Kathleen for the donation. Thank you to Amy V, who says, have you watched any of the videos on Facebook from Senator Scott Jensen? Thoughts? Merry Christmas. Well, I've not seen that. I'm going to check them out. So Senator Scott Jensen, I'm going to check them out. Lewis from Spain says, I asked for Christmas lights in the background and my wish came true. I got you, man. We right here with each other. Best Christmas background on the internet. Merry Christmas. Feliz Navidad. Thank you for that, man. Definitely appreciate it. Thank you to Leslie Ford says, Merry Christmas. Green Dog 86 says, I agree with you on a lot, just not weed helps a lot of people. Where do you end it? Everything can't tell someone you can have this and that, less government. Well, that's my question. Where do you end it? Okay, if we say, I don't want to go down this whole drug argument today because it's, Christmas Eve. But all I'm going to say is this. You got to draw a line somewhere, and where does it get drawn? You tell me. Imperfect Lion that says, hey, ABL, thanks for covering everything you are because few others really are covering it at all. God bless you. God bless you as well. Merry Christmas. Conservative Mindset says, Merry Christmas to all the free-thinking Americans. Keep up the good work, ABL. Will do. Thank you for that. Masu Tara says, Muslim support for Trump went from 14% in 2016 to 35% in 2020. Trump is influencing all demographics. That's right. Absolutely. I saw a lady today on the Facebooks completely covered head to toe with the beekeeper outfit on, talking about Trump 2020. I'm like, hey, that's good. You could fight bees and support Trump. I'm with you 1,000%. That's facts. Bear Bay 01 says, you just reminded me, head to Newegg to pick parts for a new 2000 PC. Hey, hey, get it, man. Matter of fact, if I get this exactly, if you get this stimulus, that'll be what it is. And you know what? If I get any stimulus money, it ain't nothing but tax money anyway. So I gotta pay it regardless. So it don't even matter. It don't even really matter. And as a matter of fact, that right there is a tax write-off for me. Anything I do to upgrade my setup or whatever, it's a tax write-off. So, that my PC is business expense. Okay, if I get a new graphics card or RAM or anything like that, the camera, the equipment, my desk, business expense, bit time. All right, let's get to the calls right quick. You guys are the best. You guys know the drill. The number to call is 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you want to get in through Skype and be right here in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, there's the email for that in the description box below. Yeah, if you've been drinking, please do not call. If you've been drinking and you can hold your liquor, okay, maybe. But if you're drunk and you've been, like, if you can't get in your car right now, don't call, all right? If you can't get into your car right now and drive, like, a road trip, don't call. How about that? All right. Let's get to... Oh, I got something in Skype, too. I forgot about that. Okay. I should be fine, though. Let me just get my Skype together because I got to actually sign in. Normally, it's just, okay. I should be good, though. It shouldn't be no problem. Because I got a new PC. Normally, I can just pop in and it's automatically set up. But now I got to sign in. So, yeah, that should be fine. Let's have everything. Uh-oh. Let's try this one more time. Okay. Okay, there we go. Let's do that. All right, now I got to reset my password. I forgot because it's so many things I do this thing just so like it's like a routine. And as a matter of fact, I forget what things are already set up when I got to get back into it. And hopefully this is the right account because it might not be the right account, but we'll see. Okay, so I reset the password, and then it said that's an old password. So was it the password I was just using that didn't work? Anyway, I digress. All right, let's do that. So let's sign in and have that be that. And here we go. There we go. Easy breezy. I don't need all this stuff. Alrighty, caller, your line I'm speaking to. Caller, can you hear me? Okay, let's do that one more time. Okay. Now what we gotta do, we gotta go in here and fix that. Yeah, someone said the password is come on, man. That's hilarious. Okay. Caller, can you hear me? Oh, I see what's going on. They can't hear me because my audio is not right. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go ahead and just close that and then restart. Yeah, that's what's happening. Nah, we good. That should be fine. Okay, let's try this one more time. Oh, Lord have mercy. Okay, this is wearing me out. Skype does not want to work properly. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. Caller, can you hear me? Caller, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah,
Anyway,
there
it
we
seems like
go.
you were having some.
Yeah,
It seems like you're having some technical difficulties. A second.
big
I
time.
mean,
But
you on
we
TV.
back on. We back on.
My name's Joseph.
All right, man. What's going
Can you hear
on?
me?
I hear you well.
Oh yeah. Anyway, nothing much. It's just a cold night here in Florida. Anyway, it's the first time I've ever gotten to talk to you. I've seen you lots on YouTube. I just want to, first of all, thank you for everything you do on YouTube, you know, and I definitely feel that it's people like you know, specifically I'm going to say black people who I feel like really help basically put down racial tensions in this country instead of ignite them like the Black Lives Matter people, which literally do the opposite of what they proclaim they want to do, which is, of course, stop, racism. But anyway, yeah, today I walked into a Best Buy and I just had these two older iPhones, and they were, broken anyway. They weren't going to turn on. And so I wanted to recycle them. And the guy at the counter, has this mask and he dangles it like, here's the mask. And, I said, you can just shove it. So that I know that comes close. That did not break your cursing rule. That's just a very impolite way of telling him, no, I don't want to wear the mask. And he didn't like that very much. So anyway, he told me to leave, and I said some other things, which of course you cannot say here. and then I, of course, left and had to find some other, I had to find a garbage can at a Winn-Dixie just to toss them into. But it's just all these restrictions on these masks every store you walk into. It's insane. And then my mom said to me earlier today, she said, well, they have to have people wear the masks in the stores because if they get sued, if somebody gets the coronavirus at the store. And I said, well, how in a court of law with a lawyer could you prove definitively that you got it there? You could have gotten it anywhere. So,
but you know what? You know what the thing about it is, sometimes you can't. It's not about proving. It's about just the allegation, and then you might have to go to court and stuff like that. If it's not thrown out immediately, then you have court action, and then that becomes just kind of an issue. It just becomes a money thing at that point.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, but I mean, how can you even prove the allegation, though? I mean, you know what I mean? You have to have a hard evidence. It's hard. It'd be tough to get money out of a company doing that, going to court.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, it's just time, and they got to spend money on legal fees, and it just becomes kind of a mess.
Well, yeah, but I mean, to defend themselves. But at one time, Walmart was sued every minute or something. A couple of years ago, they had lawsuits coming in left and right.
Yeah.
Remember that? On the there was that documentary that Walmart did, where they were basically saying that they're just getting lawsuits thrown at them every minute. I was like, wow, So anyway, and I just really like everything that you say on your show and stuff, and I agree with it pretty much, everything. And I used to be a far leftist guy, but one of the things that really changed my mind was learning about inflation and how that causes it, because I think a lot of people on the left, they'll want these big minimum wage increases because they realize, of course, obviously, that these jobs are not being able to live on or afford things. And it's like, well, that's not the job's fault because you have no skills. That's because of all this other government regulation spending elsewhere in the economy that will drive up prices, So, you come from thinking basically that more capitalist economic freedom or something for private enterprise causes them to just raise prices and charge whatever they want and hurt poor people, and it's absolutely the complete opposite. So I remember I saw this video by RT I watched years ago with do you know a guy named Wayne Allen Root in Las Vegas?
I know he is, yeah.
Yeah, anyway, he just came up with the book, The Trump Rules. He was on RT debating Mike, I think his name is Prisoner. He married Abby Hoffman. She was a famous RT host, and now they work for Telesur, which is the news media company in collaboration. It's kind of jointly owned by the government of Cuba. This is a
I'm sorry, but you got to get to the end of your story, because I got a few more calls online.
Yeah, it's okay. Anyway, but basically, he was debating him on socialism because he, was a member of the Party for Separation, which does have its headquarters in South Florida. And I remember watching that and, thinking I was against Wayne Allen Root for all of his ideas back then. And now it's like I've come full circle to where it's like, oh no, Wayne Allen Root was right the entire time in that video. And Mike Prisoner is insane. And Abby Hoffman was crazy for marrying him and then having a kid. So anyway, it's just, come full circle after so many years of being on the other side. which I was happy to finally not be on that other side.
Well, I'm glad you're on the right
Anyway,
side.
thank you. But
thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Well, have a nice night. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. All right, shout out to the caller. I think what happened was when I started up Skype, it took control of my microphone and adjusted it, which I don't need to happen. You know, I can speak for myself. I don't need my microphone to be changed or anything like that. So my sound should be good right now. If my sound was good from the very beginning of the stream, it should be good right now as well. So we should be back in business. I hope at least. Maybe it's not because I'm seeing that it changed right now too. Let's try to fix that one more time. Okay, let's go back and change. There we go. Perfect. Now we back in deck. Now we back on deck. Okay. Oh, Lord have mercy. Skype I hate. Let's get to the next call. The number to call 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. And let me get to the next call. 786 you're on the line. We're speaking to.
Hello, it's me, Kendrick Silverman. I think we talked before the last debate. How you doing?
Well, how about yourself?
I'm doing fine, man. Hey, first of all, Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas.
Thank you for that. I appreciate
you. No problem, man. Second thing, I actually wanted to talk about. Well, first of all, what do you think about this whole virus getting mutated? And the reason I ask that is because I'm realizing, people are saying, oh, there's home remedies or, home cures. The COVID, obviously, the CDC doesn't like, that being spread because they label it as misinformation. But the reason I also ask it is because when my grandpa had the virus, they actually just gave him regular cough drops, and he got better. And he didn't need to take, obviously this vaccine that they putting out. And I think when I got it, because I was exposed to him, I took actually multiple medicines, a combination of multiple medicines. I took it, I risked it, and I actually got better since I have asthma problems. So it's more riskier to me. I think I took a asthma nebulizer, a vitamin, some boiling water, an air purifier, and air humidifier. How do you say?
Humidifier.
Yeah, there you go. Sorry, my English is bad. Yeah, I just took multiple medicine, and basically for me, it just felt like another, asthma attack. It didn't feel much. And I was thinking, I'm not going to say, people will take, counter drugs, but I am saying that because I took this, I got better, and, obviously, now they're saying the virus has mutated and, people need to take the vaccine. So, what is your whole stance on this whole, virus situation? Because to me, it doesn't really seem, it seems like more like the flu, to be honest. And since they said it's going to stay here for, forever, why not just treat it like the flu and just, reopen the economy back?
Well, I mean, the virus is not going to, it's going to mutate. That's just what it is. That's just part of it. They're talking about they got a vaccine, all this, that, and the third, but ain't going to be no vaccine. If there is a vaccine, there's going to be different strains of it. They're talking about that right now in UK. They said they got a vaccine in UK, and then all of a sudden it's a whole new strain. So my question would be, all right, if there's a vaccine, now there's a new strain in UK, and they got shut down the whole island. What's really going on? Did the vaccine cause a new strain? Because one thing to understand is that a lot of these diseases are spread by vaccine because they give you a piece of the disease when they inject you with it. So that's sometimes how it spreads. So, I think that the rush trying to fix it and get things back to the way they were might be a bad idea.
I mean, I don't know how things were when the flu came out, when it first introduced, but I'm just saying, though, that, when the CDC says it's, has a great recovery rate and, people can take, obviously, extreme precaution and reopen the economy back, I think that's logical, but obviously the fear of something new and, not understandable to many people or people are uninformed is what keeps them, scared of this disease. And I'm not saying not to be worried about it. Obviously, some people obviously are more willing to die of the disease than some in specific age group. But I'm saying though is that I'm just treating this as another fluke, because to be honest, if we continue this, who knows how our economy will go in the next 1 or 2 years, according to these doctors such as Fauci or Bill Gates saying that we should maybe go back to normal in 2 years, and I find it pretty dumb, to be honest. But that's why I was asking you.
Right, I'm with you, man. Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Hey, man, thanks, man, and yeah, until next time.
All right, now take care.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shout out to the caller. Modern Renaissance, man. I see you in the chat, boss. You can call in through Skype. There's an email for that in the description box. Just check it out right up under here. It should be email to say something like Skype email. Just comment on that, and you could be right there in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen. If your video was working, and if my screen wants to work properly, we can go ahead and set that up. It won't be no problem. All righty, let's get to some more calls. The number to call is 434-658-1220. The number is always in the description box below. There's also, like I was just saying to my man, Modern Renaissance, man, there's an email for a Skype in the description box below as well. All righty. So, in Modern Renaissance, man, whatever you are using to call in through Skype, just let me know so I can get you on. All right, let's go to the next one. 202, you know, line, who am I speaking to? 202, hello. Yes, caller. Turn the speakers in the background for me, down for me, please.
Turn it down.
All righty, what's going on?
What's going on, man? First of all, I want to say, I like your show, man. I listen to a lot of what you and B. Tatum have to say, man. But I caught something that you posted on YouTube about the BLM thing the other day, the $10.6 million thing.
Billion with a B.
B, right. So, what do you think? Because I heard you mention that, you said, I didn't get any assistance or any help from that or anything like that. I mean, what do you think is supposed to happen with that money? And, and also, I just wanted to say, like, I have friends that, I'm a closeted Republican. My wife, she tells me I'm a closeted Republican. I agree with a lot of their policies, but what I do not agree with and what I see happens on a daily is that, there is unfair treatment, between the police and even, what we see going on the Hill every day. So, I mean, honestly, what do you think? Is the fair thing first to do with that money that BLM collected? And secondly, how do we put this, put the tension amongst both sides aside and deal with people, like-minded people like you, myself, people who want to have those difficult conversations with people, across the aisle and say, hey, look, this is where I stand, this is where you stand, I respect that, but let's get something done.
All right, well, I think if their group is called Black Lives Matter and they say that they're for the advancement of black people, all right, give money to black colleges because, they keep coming back to the government trying to get more money, trying to get more funding, more alumni donations. So give it to black colleges. If you have any kind of, some of these schools in the urban inner city area, like Jalen Rose's school in Detroit, JRLA, try to get that funded because he has a program where you can donate money to sponsor a class. $100,000, you got a whole class. So give money to that and other little charter programs. So that's the education in K through 12, education, higher education, and also some literacy programs because we need that as well. A lot of these kids graduate 18 years old, can't even read. So literacy programs beyond school, any kind of after school programs, any kind of apprenticeship work as far as, brick masonry, carpentry, right, stuff like that. So hard skills, soft skills, education, the building blocks for people. That's what you should put. That's what you put the money in. But they're putting the money into LGBTQ, ABCDFG stuff because, a lot of them are lesbian and LGBT. So they put money over there to help them and to help with arts and to put money in their own pocket and pay their friends and family rather than actually contributing to the black community.
Okay, but when you guys I listen to you and B. Tatum a lot, and when you guys talk about the black community, and I hear you speak about, like you're from like the Newport News area. I'm from, Washington D.C. Born and raised in the metropolitan area, and I think a lot of people don't realize is that we are the working class. Like I am a college graduate. I do not work in my field by a long shot. Spent a ton of money on a on a degree that does not help me, but majority of us are the working class. We are no different than, anyone else who gets up every morning and we go to work and, but at the same time, there is no relief. So what do you do when you're getting up every morning, you're going to work and you're taking care of your business and, a law-abiding citizen, but your neighborhood is running rampant with crime and you have witnessed the police, do nasty things to people that, live in the same community as you? How do you begin to even explain how you side with these people when you're witnessing these injustices day after day? It's not like you're driving through the neighborhood. You're living right here where it's happening. So how do you begin to, and I also have a cousin, a very dear cousin of mine who is a, police officer, but how do you begin to justify voting in that manner when there obviously is no help being sent to us? Other than, okay, we'll put the National Guard in your neighborhood if that's what you got. We'll stick the National Guard there. That's it, and that's all. But we're not dealing with the social issue.
Well, I mean, voting is just one piece of the puzzle. I mean, before you get to voting, before you even address that, you got to get down to the core, the people that are in your community. You got to at that point, it's just a matter of people raising children properly, people being able to just build something for themselves. The voting piece shouldn't even really be a thing until you get later. You got to build a foundation first, and then the voting and political power will come second. Because if your neighborhood is crazy because, there's no parents, the dads ain't there, the mom barely there, you got Big Mama barely able to hold on and raise a bunch of her grandkids and great grandkids, that dynamic right there, if that's happening, then nothing can really be built on that. You got a bad foundation. You can't build a house on that. So you got to fix that first. That's the main thing. And then you could try to do something else from there. And I think what's going to end up happening to really get that going is when they eliminate a lot of this welfare state. If we keep printing money, keep going into debt, you're going to have a lot of these welfare benefits go away. Then it's going to be a matter of forcing it to happen because you can't just have kids whenever you want and think you're going to get paid for them anymore. And then you could just not do anything and get paid with all kind of government benefits. It's going to force people to kind of live more conservative like. And then at that point, you could talk about voting and things. But until you get the neighborhood under control, ain't no point in trying to talk about voting, in my opinion. I can't hear you, boss.
Also, I think it's important for people like you who are on the other side. Y'all need to come to these neighborhoods and say, hey, we're not your enemy. We want to see you guys do better. And this is why. And it can't just be because you can't just say, hey, I voted for Trump and this is where I stand. Everything Trump does is right and everything that, Nancy Pelosi and Joe Biden and any other Democrat does is wrong. The people that surround all of us, if you include yourself in the Black community, they need to see both of us, all of us doing the work together. You can't just make a declaration and say, this is where I am, this is where I stand, and all of y'all have to get y'all stuff together and be on this level without lacing your boots up and being willing to do the work so that other people can, firmly understand what you're talking to them. And when they understand and they're able to witness that, because, hey, this guy, he voted this way, but he's in our neighborhood. He wants to help. And then you can talk to these people, these children, these fathers who've been incarcerated by, Joe Biden's bill, but they have to see us working together. And where we sit at now, you're on this side of the table, we're on this side of the table, and there isn't any meeting ground.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. But I think, like I was saying, before we even get to the talking about some of the deeper issues, the political issues, we got to get down to the core. People in the community have to examine themselves and figure out what's going on and try to figure out a way to fix it. The single parent households have got to stop. That's the issue, because I can go there, talk about whatever I want. It's going to fall on a lot of deaf ears because people aren't even really ready for it. They got to be ready for the information first. Once they're ready for it, then they'll be able to receive it. Now, some people may be ready for it, may be kind of open-minded, but like I know, it's going to be kind of hard to find in that kind of environment. So I feel like They have to be able to get ready for it, and then they can move on and figure out what's going on. But hey, it's been a good call, but I got a few more calls on the line. Thank you for the call.
All right,
Definitely
man.
appreciate
Good
you.
evening.
Peace. Yeah, it's a good call, but the main thing, we got to be able to tighten up first. Like, ain't no point in me going to a hood and talk about voting. Like, they're not even really going to understand that. You got to be able to get down to fixing what's going on in that area first. I come from these kind of environments. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be growing up and talk the way I'm talking right now and not have anybody even understand what I'm saying. This is my own neighborhood I grew up in. Like, people that I know, people that are friends of mine, don't even understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Nancy Pelosi and I'm talking about the omnibus bill. They be like, what's that? You got to get to the core of these bad households and no parents. That's the key. And once we can get there, once we can start there, then we can start to build. But until then, it don't even, it won't make a difference. Because you could vote one way, you could even vote for Trump, but if you're not prepared to do what's next, aside from voting, it won't make a difference. But let me get to the next call. All right, let's go. All right, call your line. We're speaking to 617. Caller, hello, 617. Going once, going twice. All right, caller, when you call in, be prepared to answer the phone, please. Because if you're trying to watch the stream and answer it that way, it's going to be a delay and you will not be able to pick up. So make sure you get your ear right next to the phone. Let me get to the next one here.
Oh.
All righty. Caller, you on the line?
Hey, Anthony, you got us, man?
I got you. How's everything?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about y'all?
Oh, man, we're pretty good. Sorry we hadn't contacted you in a while, but we have been listening, or I have.
Well,
Lisa, raise your hand up where Anthony can
Okay.
see you.
Okay.
Hey, man, I'm on my old computer down in the shop. I'm sorry, but that's the best I can do tonight.
Oh, it's all right, man. No, I'm glad you guys called.
We wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, my man. Oh, man. It's just been a minute since we've contacted you, and we'll let you know I still watch you. I know Lisa does too, and oh man, hey, ain't this a crazy time right now?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a crazy time. There's a whole lot going on, but I feel like we'll be able to get through this and get beyond it and come out on the other side better.
Do you feel like Trump's going to be able to maintain, have another 4 years? I mean, it seems like we get some good news and then they stall on us. I'm just not sure.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, anything can happen. It's like nowadays when things happen that are kind of strange and weird, I don't even get surprised anymore. So I don't really know, but we can only hope that would be the case.
Well, hey man, first time I think I ever called you, it's probably been 5-6 months ago, something of that nature. We talked about the mail-in voting. Mm-hmm. Dang, if it ain't bit us in the rear end, big way.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, for sure. And I figured that'd be the case, just with the no voter ID and stuff like that. I said it from the beginning. It's just an avenue for them to try and cheat if they need it. They can activate that when they feel like they have to do it.
Mm-hmm. Hey man, I've been wanting to mention to you too. I watched, I keep up with you on Twitter, and it's been 2 or 3 weeks ago. You're tweeting about basketball great white dudes,
yeah.
And you missed Pistol Pete, man. I know it's kind of before your time. In my time, it was before yours. He's a heck of a basketball player, though.
Yeah, see, I had forgotten about him. He was really good player, really good.
I know. I figured I got one over.
You did.
Larry Bird was popular in my days.
Yeah, he was before that.
Yeah, Larry Bird was amazing. He really was.
Oh yeah. And Atlanta had a really good team. They went to the playoffs.
Not Atlanta, Boston, baby.
No, I'm talking about the Atlanta Hawks. They actually almost
with Dominique. Yeah,
Dominique Wilkins.
him and Larry had some good shootouts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a big deal. Hey man, we don't want to take up too much of your time. I'm sorry we hadn't called in a while. Thank you for taking our call. Man, everybody hang in there for Trump. It's gonna be it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. January 20th. Just hang on.
That's right. Thank y'all for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Take care, buddy.
Thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
They're the best. You gotta love them. You know, I appreciate them every time they call. All righty. Let's get to a few more. And let me go 325 in the line. I'm speaking to you.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Can you hear me? All right. Turn speakers on in the background for me, please. Turn speakers down in the background for me, please. All righty. So what's going on?
Hey, Anthony, this is Dr. Ragnar Olson. And I was called to see why people won't research what Black Lives Matter really is.
Well,
they just seem to support it for no reason. They don't know that they're Marxist, and they want to destroy the family unit. I mean, what's up with that, you know?
Well, a lot of people are just ignorant. So all they're going to do is just hear Black Lives Matter and look at it as a thing they have to agree with, rather than looking into the actual organization, the actual company that gets money, people that run it, the actual leadership. They won't look that deep. All they're going to do is just hear the name Black Lives Matter and leave it at that because they're ignorant.
Yeah, because I was reading that all the people that were killed or hurt in the shootouts earlier in the year didn't get a dime, but they got billions of dollars, I think is what they said. They said it was funneled to Democrats, you know?
Well, yeah, see, the thing about it, Black Lives Matter and other ancillary kind of organizations that are like satellites of Black Lives Matter, they got about $10.6 billion. And BLM itself, $10.6 billion. And BLM itself, the organization, their donation link is through Act Blue, which is the Democratic Party's fundraising platform. And what Act Blue does, they're a payment processor. So they take a piece of the money that's given to Black Lives Matter through their organization and take a piece of that for their profit. And from that profit, they take care of all the things they got to take care of. They pay for their employees and any kind of operation money, any kind of profit. And then they also donate some of that money to whatever they want to donate to, which is going to be Democratic people or people that are on their side, like a Black Lives Matter, like a Joe Biden. So a lot of that BLM money went to Joe Biden indirectly through Black Lives Matter. There's also other little groups. I think Puff Daddy, a.k.a. Diddy, came out with a so-called black political party. I'm using air quotes here. And that political party was introduced in October before the election, and then they endorsed Joe Biden, and they're on Act Blue as well. So all of that money is going to Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. That's what it's all about. It's all about money and power.
I know. Does the black population know what Black Lives Matter really is?
No, they don't. People don't really know. People don't know because all they're going to do is hear the name and not know about anything else. They're not going to really care to know because they're just satisfied by just hearing the name and that's it.
Oh, okay. I was just curious because I'm a very critical thinker. You know, I'm being a doctor and all, but I thought people would at least research things before they donate or support it, you know.
Nope. That's, people that think critically and really want to dive into things are actually a little bit rare. They're more rare than what they should be, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's just that my dad was a very smart man, and he trained me from, I think, first grade, at least close to that, learning the different words and mathematical equations and stuff like that. So when I got to grade school, I was already above the second and third graders, and they jumped me to fourth, you know. But I've always had that critical thinking, and I'm very logical. in my thoughts, I guess,
Man, that's a good way to be, but that's unfortunately not the case for everyone.
Yeah, I can't understand the way people think these days, because I grew up in the 50s and 60s, and I have a different, I guess, mindset than these people, the millennials and what have you, but I just can't understand the way they think. I mean, have you ever pondered something like that, or?
I mean, of course I have, but I come to the realization that I'm not in the majority. People like ourselves are just not the majority. The average, just regular normie, as I call them, the regular normal person, does not really, they go to work, they might go to school, they have hobbies, but they're not really deep into politics. They're not going to look really into what's going on. If you talk to average person just out there in the grocery store walking around and you talk to them about a deep issue, they're not really going to know everything because they've not looked into it. But hey, thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right, shout out to the caller. I see you, Modern Renaissance, man. I get to you as soon as I can. All right, so the number to call 434-658-1220. Let me get to the next one. 304 on line. I'm speaking to.
Oh, am I on?
You on live, boss? What's happening?
This is Stallings. First called in, talk about VP Mike Pence. All these other news networks tried saying he's going to certify for Biden. He ain't going to stand up for Trump. I was like, why wouldn't he? He's been the best VP ever, probably since, I don't even know, he's been head and shoulders above old Biden. And hey, he's been such a good VP, I'd be honored to have him on the next ballot next time I go to vote in 2024. Wouldn't you?
Oh, definitely. Absolutely. So
next thing I was wanting to talk about is if Trump has to call martial law. I doubt him doing it. Do you?
No, I don't see.
Law.
I don't see what the benefit would be.
Why no? I don't see him having to do it.
Yeah, I don't see what that would actually do. People talking about that, but I don't see. And then he already said he's not going to do it. He said it was fake. So I don't think if he came out and said that he's not going to do it, I don't think that he will.
And hasn't it only been called like 40 some times in American history, martial law? Like, I don't see him calling it. And it's gonna be settled in Congress or the state legislature.
Right. Yeah, I don't think he would do anything like that.
Now, I was going to ask this last time you went live on Saturday, but I couldn't get on. But what's your report saying about Chief Justice Roberts screaming at the other justices about the riots that might cause or something? Is that true, or?
I've not heard about that. So you said he screamed on them about what now?
Yeah. There's like. So now I don't know how this report is, but I mean I've heard it through multiple sources saying some lady worked for one of these justices saying they got screamed at by the head chief there. It might be complete BS, might be true. Who knows?
I've not heard about that. I'm gonna look into it, but like I said before, I'm not surprised anymore. Anything that happens, I say it could happen because I've seen some crazy things happening this year that if you were to tell me what have happened last year, I'd be like, impossible. No way.
And Supreme Court ain't been too reliable in the past. Look at the 1800s, what they done on the Dred Scott deal. It was complete BS. They're about to cause another Civil War if they ain't too careful.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. That's going to be a mistake.
Well, okay, brother. Tell you, there's a Senate seat open up here in DV. Old Manchin ain't gonna be. He ain't gonna win his next time whenever he runs.
Yeah,
I'd be honored to see you on there and run against him.
Hey, you never know, man. That might happen for sure. Might have to go back Canal County and just go ahead and do it. You never know.
Yeah, we're looking for a good Republican to vote for another senator, brother. It might be him.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Okay. Later.
All right, now take care. All right, shout out to the caller coming from a West Buckeye, West Virginia, my birthplace. Yes, indeed. All righty, let's get to some more here. The number to call 434-658-1220. Do not be afraid to call. It's all good. Modern Renaissance, man, I see you trying to call in, or you had tried to call in a little bit earlier. I'll wait for you a little bit, and then we'll see what we can do. Oh, if you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the stream, like the video, please do that for me. Share the video as well, because that helps me out a whole lot. It helps the whole party keep rolling, rocking and rolling. Yeah, but I mean, I get asked that question every day. People ask me on the internet, people ask me just in person. People are asking me where I live at, like to run locally and become more involved. And I've met pretty much everybody around here politically. So, I mean, I may have to do that. I feel like political people are kind of, you got two types. You got those that aspire to be politicians. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes you have those that aspire to be politicians and those that are required to be politicians, those that are called to do it. Like, hey man, we need you to go out there and run. Please do it. And it's like you're recruited into it. You got a lot of those that are out there. You know, I've heard that story a lot. People said I was just a regular person working, and then, you know, my friends and family and everybody else said, hey man, you got to run. Please do it. There's nobody else. It's got to be you. So, like, I heard about one time where there was a guy that was running, and his campaign manager stepped in to take the seat when the guy that was running had died or something. So things like that happen. But let me get to the next call. 843, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
ABL, this is Tyler in South Carolina. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
Oh, same to you, man. What's going on?
Oh, just watching Lindsey Graham today. I voted for that man. Watching him today try and tout the make Pakistan gay again or whatever he's got going on over there with that bill.
That was crazy. I
was thinking.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now, go ahead, boss. You got it.
No, I was just thinking we might need to start compiling like a blacklist for the rhinos, because you can already see the rhinos, you know, he's just happy to be back in the swamp, and that Trump, you know, they think they got Trump out of there. And you can just see them salivating, the Republicans I'm talking about. You know, I'm new to the Republicans. I've never been a Republican fan. I'm a Trumplican, not a Republican, you know.
Right.
And it's just sad to see. It's sad to see the ones that are already turning on the man, and he's not even out of there yet.
Yeah, that was really crazy to hear him say that on television. I was shocked. Because it's like, okay, you can just
too.
Yeah, you can just say, okay, we got a little bit of pork in there, and that's not really good. All right, but then when he was trying to like appeal to emotion, talking about the Pakistani woman, it's like, all right, man, why should that really concern me? Especially me talking about the coronavirus bill. What's that got to do with the coronavirus in the United States? Nothing at all. So he should have just kept it to himself. I feel like that was a tone deaf moment, not realizing what people are thinking about and what they actually want from the government.
Well, yeah, exactly, ABL. And then what about it's a slap in the face to our intelligence to think that, what, now we're going to dictate, we're going to change we're going to change Islam and make them gay too, like we did to us? I mean, that's not going to work. I mean, we've been trying it with guns for 1,300 years. With these people, you know what I mean? We're just at an impasse with them, and now we're gonna make them gay, and that's somehow gonna make Muslim. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's not going to happen.
Would believe this
because and think about it, they've been right there in that same region in Pakistan since like the dawn of man, since like 2000.
Exactly.
It's like they've been the exact same way for a long time, so there's no point even doing that. It's just wasteful.
Unbelievable, but it just shows that, you know, that not only do they not care about us, but they really just hate us. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm with you.
But at least we won't get our feelings hurt. You know, now we know that, and so next time around we'll know that, and we can remember who these rhinos are and who the people that didn't stick with Trump. Because really, without Trump, what have the Republicans really got?
Not a whole lot, because really when Trump came in, that's what kind of revitalized them. I mean, that's what really brought them back to, you know, where they were before. Because without him, I mean, it wouldn't be no enthusiasm. It just the Democrats will pretty much do whatever they want. They had the social media and all that kind of stuff. They're taking it over. We didn't have anything like that, and Trump was the guy to try to really just counteract what the left were doing. Without him, they'd be in a real bad place nationally.
That's it. He was our ruthless records, and now the Democrats, they make no shame that they're killers. At least I can respect them for that. They're gonna do whatever it takes to win, and that's it. I can get with that. I just wish we had the same mentality.
That's right.
I don't want to cheat to do it, but I want our ideology to win over. So, but yeah, man, just keep up the fight, bro, and great year for the show, and congratulations on the marriage and everything, and God bless America.
I thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Anthony. All right, buddy.
All right, great call. Now, if you guys have not seen Lindsey Graham's little interview on Fox News, we're talking about Pakistan and the women. I'll play it for you right quick, so you can see what we're talking about. Just so if you might be a little bit lost in the sauce, I'll go ahead and play it for you right quick, just so we on the same page with each other. Hold on one second. Let me get to desktop and.
So, there are things in there. The foreign aid budget is 1% of all American spending. Pakistan is a place I really worry about. 85 countries, a woman can't open up a bank account without her husband's signature. She can't inherit property. If you're a young girl in Pakistan, life is pretty tough, so we're trying to make life better for women throughout the world. But 1% of all federal spending is foreign assistance.
I mean, so what though? Like, all right, you could say it's tough and they can't open bank accounts. All right, that's fine, but what does it got to do with me? What's it got to do with the coronavirus? That's part of the virus stimulus package. They're trying to give $10 million to Pakistan for gender studies. Okay, if the women don't control everything and the men have bank accounts, what are you going to do by sending money in there to the men so they can spend it how they've been spending it for the past 2,000 years? Let's just think a little bit logically here, sir. Come on, tighten up. Yeah, when I saw that, I was like, man, what are you thinking about? Let me get to the next call. 309 on the line. What's speaker to?
ABL.
Yes, sir. What's going on?
What's going on, sir? How's things been?
Everything's been good, man. Can't complain too much.
All right. Doing good myself. I just want to talk about this whole, this stimulus thing. And what I think a lot of people fail to realize is that no matter who it is that's up there as president right now, or who is the so-called president-elect, whether you are a Democrat or a Republican, depending on what type of social economic status you are on, this whole thing affected everybody. That $600 that they try to propose was absolutely ridiculous. So I think what a lot of people don't take time to sit back and think about is this. Who is the one that proposed that they think that Americans are worth $600? What people want to do is they want to sit there and point fingers. Oh, if Donald Trump would have. No. Slow down a little bit. Donald Trump is not the one that proposed and felt that you that are listening to this show right now are worth $600. Some folks says, oh, well, $600 is better than nothing. No, $600 is nothing. So to me, I think that a lot of people are not taking time to sit back and think about the fact that whether you are Democrat or Republican, all of you were affected by the ones who a lot of folks put their trust in, and they showed you exactly what they felt you were worth was $600. So to me, whether you are Democrat or Republican, I think everybody should be ticked off one way or another that that's what the government felt that you were worth. So I find it funny that right after that, I think Pelosi tweeted and said something like, well, this is what we've been waiting on. And, oh, bull crap. Well, he finally said what he wanted to do. So, yeah, I agree. Let's go ahead and do it. It's like, no, she needs to make an open public statement and say something like this. But she know that Trump will probably rip them apart if they try to do something like that publicly. But tweeting it is one thing. But her openly saying it to the public, trying to defend herself like this is what they're waiting on for Trump. Okay. Trump ain't the one that proposed that we worth $600. So they can try to sit there and say all they want to about, well, if Trump would have said this in the beginning, no. Whether Trump said nothing, you guys are the one that proposed this and put this before everybody saying this is what you feel that Americans are worth. All these videos, all this talking, all this virtue signal and all this. The people are suffering and the businesses are shutting down. People are on their last limb and their businesses, and people are just fighting, and they're losing loved ones. And so we, the government, knows what's best for you. Here's $600. That's like the biggest smack in the face and the biggest joke from your government, folks, that y'all are voting these people in. That's what they feel that you are worth. So to me, I think this is a given right here. They are literally showing folks who they are, and yet folks at the same time, well, I trust my government. And then for Donald Trump to turn around and say, no, I think y'all are worth $2,000, and I think it's $4,000 per couple. And now they want to try to turn around and say, well, we were waiting on him. What do you mean you were waiting on him? Y'all the ones that proposed this. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that whole bogus $600 taxes that they took out of a person's paycheck, that they felt that all you Americans that are listening to ABL show right now, that's what they felt that you are worth. People that have lost their business, that have lost loved ones, that's trying to pay rent. Maybe you lost your car, all kinds of things. You lost your benefits. And for all that you went through the past 9 months since they passed the last one, since it got worse, things have spiked. For all that stuff that we Americans have been through, here's what we, the government, feel that you are worth and what you are owed. $600. So anyway, man, that's my 2 cents on that whole government joke that they threw at the American people. And to me, I feel that this is something that definitely Democrats and Republicans, whoever you voted for, Joe Biden or Donald Trump, this is definitely something that we all should be united on, that the government definitely dropped the ball on this one right here. So that's my take on this. And with that being said, everybody that's listening to here, hope you guys all have a Merry Christmas. Hope you guys all are in good health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. ABL, keep on doing what you're doing, man. They shadow banning you. They shadow banning me. They shadow banning Tatum. I don't know if you noticed that. People are telling me that they've been unsubscribed from me. My subscribers are. I've been unsubscribed from you and Tatum and Larry Elder, and I did not unsubscribe myself from you guys. So I don't know. Whenever you talk, you might want to tell your listeners to make sure. I always tell people, double check to make sure that you are still subscribed to me. And next thing I know, I get hundreds of emails in every day. Ty, you were right. They unsubscribed me from you. They unsubscribed me from you, dude. I can't believe they unsubscribed me from you. So make sure you're letting your listeners know that, because YouTube is literally unsubscribing people from you. They unsubscribing people from Tatum and me. So we know why, because we pressing the truth out there, and they don't like truth, and we being shadow banned. So, but I know we're going to keep on pressing forward and doing what we do. So it's going to all come to an end. And God bless America. God bless you all listening to this, and God bless you as well, ABL.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Merry Christmas to you.
Absolutely.
All right, great call from Modern Renaissance, man. You guys go ahead and subscribe to his channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're not subscribed to me for some reason, you got unsubscribed to whatever the case may be. Go ahead and subscribe right now just to make sure everything's on the up and up. Yeah, definitely do that. Go ahead and subscribe to both of us right now. So Modern Renaissance, man, thank you for the call. I'm going to put a link to his channel in the chat just in case you guys are not subscribed to him. And then you can go ahead and click on that. And let's see here. There we go. Modern Renaissance, man. Subscribe to. And we'll do it like that. Put it a few times in the chat, and then we good to go. Let's get to the next call. All right, let's go. 956, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, ABL. My name's Jeff, and I will tell you, I'm absolutely disgusted with this bill that they passed. I'm so glad that President Trump said no, because he should have. It was packed full of pork, and it had nothing to do with anything regarding the coronavirus. I didn't use the real name. You know why.
Right.
I will tell you, it was just absolutely disgusting what they were doing and what they're trying to cram through there. And I just wanted to just put that out there. I'm so sick and tired of what they're doing, because it is absolutely disgusting. And these politicians should be ashamed of themselves. So that's all I really had to say. And I appreciate you, and I appreciate your show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah, the bill is really crazy. And I felt like they're playing games. Like I was saying earlier, it could be kind of like a cat and mouse, I got you, playing games, trying to embarrass. Because here's what's going on, in my opinion. All right, they put the stimulus out there with all kind of stupid pork in it that's really just ridiculous. Money to the Kennedy Center, money for LGBTQ, ABCDEFG stuff in Pakistan, trying to change their culture, but they've been the same since the past 2,000 years. So all kind of crazy pork in it, right? That's going to come out on the news, and then they're going to say, okay, for you, just a regular normie American citizen, $600. Take that and shut up. I almost cuss. But anyway, shut your mouth and have that be that. That's what they want to say. So then here comes Trump saying that's not going to work. I'm not going to accept all that pork, and we got to raise $600 to $2,000. And people on the left were very willing to accept the $2,000, but ain't talking about the pork though. So what's going to happen is they may try to put the 2,000 on top of the 600, on top of the pork. You see what I'm saying? To make it 2,000, they put 1,400 on top. Then on top of it, all pork is already there. So just raise the money spent rather than lowering the money and cutting stuff. So then when they come back with a bill that's just more inflated with more money rather than cutting stuff, Trump's going to say, hey, what about the pork? I said cut that too. I'm going to veto this. And then they're going to say, hey, Trump, he's bluffing. He wasn't going to give any more money. He doesn't want to sign this. And then it's going to be them trying to set him up to look bad. That might be the angle here. But I think the advantage that Trump has is the ability to reach a large audience very quickly on social media and stuff like that. That's why they're trying to put little labels on his tweets and everything to lower his reach. During the election, Twitter openly admitted to adding little things to prevent tweets from being retweeted a lot so they won't go viral. So if any kind of information got out there about what's happening with the election, if anything got out about X, Y, and Z, then they wouldn't really go anywhere because Trump was being kind of quieted, and so were everybody else. And right after the election, they took it back to normal. They were like, okay, things were kind of hectic during the election. Now it's back to normal. That's kind of what's going on. And then with YouTube, they want to try to silence certain people and reduce your reach, because now they feel like Trump's not there to shine a light on what's happening with social media. What they don't know is that people are still tuned into what's going on. Millions of us still, we still tuned into what's going on. We still got pretty big followings. So if we say, okay, we're going to go ahead and make a big issue of this and move traffic from here to there, then that's going to be a problem. So this is going to be kind of an ongoing fight. Politics in general, it's an ongoing fight. It doesn't really end. It's never really over. It's always going to be an ongoing, constant thing. But let me get to the next call. 754, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 754, hello.
Hey, how you doing? This is Will.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Hello. Hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, man, I'm a big fan of you, man. I watched like a lot of your videos and stuff, man. Yeah, I just wanted to like comment like on big tech and like all the corruption with big tech and everything. And I just wanted to say like back in history, like with like Hitler and Stalin, they controlled the press and controlling the press and the media. That is like a form of mind control. They can control the masses with their narrative.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I just find it. I just hate. I got a lot of liberal friends. They all follow, whatever CNN says and social media and the Black Lives Matter movement, and it's kind of like mind blowing. And to be honest, I'm like independent. I think 2020 was the first time I voted ever. I didn't really vote back when Obama was in office because I was young. I didn't really care or whatnot. But I just wanted to ask you, why did you feel like Obama was a bad president? Like, what was it? Because I didn't really follow politics back then.
Well, the main thing that he was bad at was race relations, because before Obama, it wasn't this big thing between blacks and whites with race riots. That wasn't really a thing. I mean, I think before Obama, you had the LA riots, But that was kind of like isolated. It wasn't really this whole big widespread thing. And then once you got Obama in there, you had Black Lives Matter. They came about during this time, and then it was some things that happened with Trayvon Martin talking about that could have been my son, that could have been me. That was bad because it made it seem like it was a real big thing, although it was really a dispute between two people. It wasn't a police involved interaction. But even still to this day, people think about that as a police involved interaction because Obama got involved, put his 2 cents in it. And then the whole thing with Skip Gates, the professor, talking about the police acted stupidly again, throwing the police under the bus. He was bad for race relations. And then that became kind of a popularized thing under Obama. And also, he overpromised and underdelivered, talking about hope and change. And it just didn't really work out too well. People want to try to say the same thing about Trump, but Obama did not have some kind of global pandemic to deal about with like worldwide economic collapse. He had everything handed to him that he needed to be able to succeed and did not do well. And he had 2 terms to be able to do it and was not successful. So that's why I say he was a bad president. And also, he lowered the bar for success from some people. And it was just, I just didn't like what he did. I was disappointed. And I voted for him the first time. And when I was even a liberal still, I was not pleased with his performance.
Right. A lot of people, you know, when I tell them about Obama, a lot of like pro-black, even they say like, yeah, well, he couldn't do anything because, you know, the Senate and the Congress, they wouldn't pass none of his bills. You know, that's the first thing that they say. He couldn't really do nothing for black people, or he couldn't really do anything to help us or whatnot.
Well, he did have a House and Senate for a while. I think it was like 2 years at the beginning. You know, his problem was not the House and the Senate. His problem was him, things that he did. My issue with Obama is Obama doing certain, like the race relations. That's nothing to do with the House or the Senate. That's Obama making decisions on his own. You know, like it wasn't the House and the Senate that said that you got to bring Black Lives Matter to the White House. You brought BLM to the White House, inside the White House, and said, hey, you guys are doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing while Ferguson is burning. It was his decisions, not the fault of anyone else outside of him.
Yeah, you know, I think 2020 like really woke me up because, you know, before I was not really into politics until, you know, like the birth of my child, and you know, my fiance, you know, she was a big liberal. You know, she went to the Black Lives Matter like murals and all that stuff, and even like when she seen me like watching you, I put like your videos on. Even her perspective started changing. She don't want to admit it like fully, but you know, I know she's like, yeah, I'm not even gonna lie. Some of the stuff there is like, I don't agree with what the liberals do, you know? And I feel like a lot of black people don't agree. If they actually did research, you know, they'll look and be like, whoa, yo, Obama did this, you know, wait a minute, Trump did that. You know, that will actually, you know, wake them up to stuff, you know?
Right, exactly. Absolutely.
Yeah. But, you know, keep doing what you do, man, you know? I like your videos, you know. Bless up. Have a Merry Christmas, you know.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. Merry Christmas to you as well.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Let's get to the next one here. Our caller line, I'm speaking to 617.
Hey, yeah, man. You so what do you know about the bill that just passed?
What do you mean? What do I know about it? I know much as you know.
I was a guy that called earlier, and he was concerned about the $600. Does that guy know that the $600 came from his the suggestion came from the Secretary of Treasury, Manish? I think his name is Manish. He's the one who suggested the $600.
Okay, now how about the pork? How about that part?
The what?
The pork in the bill. How about that part? Did he also say? Did he also suggest that, or who did that?
No, it didn't suggest that. I know, the research was suggested by Democrats and Republicans. A lot of the thing came from both sides, but he suggested the 600. Foreign policy, foreign investment was coming from the
the Trump administration. The money to Pakistan was coming from the Trump administration. So wasn't the Democrat Republican. So the problem is people need to. I suggest to everybody to watch C-SPAN. Sunday morning, connect with C-SPAN, and then you will see. I mean, you're not gonna see the whole bill because it's a huge bill, and I'm pretty sure there's a special interest from Democrats and a special interest for Republicans. I don't believe it's just one side. When this bill becomes really big, the special interest comes in the middle, and they fit the purpose of the coronavirus bill. That's true, but also, his own administration was making some suggestions to make contribution to those countries because coronavirus. So for him to say all that stuff, he's shooting himself in the foot because it was his own administration. Either there's two things. Either Trump doesn't pay attention or he's just playing marketing. And I think it's playing marketing.
Now, the question is, how much of the bill did Trump's team come up with?
I don't know exactly.
Okay, so you don't know. I got it. So at the end of the day, call it. Listen. At the end of the day, Trump says, "Hey, this bill is not good. 6,000 pages, a lot of pork. Go back and fix it." Simple.
Yeah, but
so what's the problem?
Part of his, well, if he says that it was a slap in the face. When the Democrats say we want to give him $2,000, when Nancy Pelosi said $2,000 per person, and Mitch for $1, Mitch McConnell $2,000 for $1 and $600 per dependent, I think it was. Mitch McConnell said $1,000 under $50,000. Why? I know Trump went to the show, Rush Limbaugh, and he said he wanted to give more money. And then Nancy Pelosi went to the Mitch McConnell and said, "Hey, do you listen what the president said?" He said, "He can say whatever he wants. We want to give you $1,000."
Get to the point. We don't got all day. Get to the point.
Monish is $600. So again.
So like I said, it's the whole bill, 6,000 pages. You're looking at one number out of 6,000 pages. The bill is bad. I'm talking the bill is bad. Go back, fix it. Simple.
So my question is either this president is sleeping, he's not doing his job because he doesn't know what his own Treasury Secretary is suggesting.
So look, you're not listening to what I'm saying. So you're saying that Mnuchin said it's 600. That's just one number out of 6,000 pages.
What about
one number out of 6,000 pages? I'm talking one number out of 6,000 pages. So the whole bill is bad. Go back, tighten it up, fix it, and then come back to me. Very simple.
Yeah, you gotta fix it. I'm agree with him. I'm agree that the foreign policy should be shared with the international community. I don't agree that the United States alone should pay for that. Why the United States should pay for coronavirus relief for those countries? Why the international community don't collaborate? I'm agree with it with Trump. I'm not saying that Trump is wrong, but what I'm saying is, if his own administration is making those suggestions and he doesn't
But
know,
you just said you don't know how much of the bill that they suggested.
He don't say no.
Wait, no, sir. No. You said it. Don't go back. You said you don't. Sir, listen, I'm talking. You say you don't know how much of the bill that Trump's team suggested. All you saying is Mnuchin said it's 600. But as far as anything else, you don't know who suggested that. You don't know if it was anybody in Trump's team that suggested that monies go to Pakistan for gender assignment or whatever. You don't know that. So why you keep talking about Trump's team? All you can say is Mnuchin went to 600. You have no other ammunition. So what else do you have?
He's not the head of the team.
But you don't know where that came from. You don't know where. Listen, you don't know where the actual money, you don't know where anything else in the bill came from aside from the 600. So you can't assign the Pakistan thing to anybody in Trump's team. You have no idea where that came from.
That's his job. He's not doing his job.
But you don't know where. But how can you say he's not doing his job when you don't know where it came from? What does that got to do with him? If you're talking about something that came from other people, what does that got to do with Trump?
The burden should not be only the United States. It should be done by the international community. I agree with him. But he doesn't want to do this job. He doesn't want to do the job.
So answer this question. Answer the question.
He doesn't want
answer the sir. Answer the question. Now, you say you don't know how much of the bill came from Trump's team. So how can you say that a particular thing that's wrong in the bill came from Trump's team when you don't even know where it came from? You just said it yourself.
Because that's what the Trump team suggested.
But you don't know that. You just said you don't know how much of the bill came from. All you know is Mnuchin. So listen, all right, because we kind of spinning on wheels. What do you know that came from? But listen, as I'm talking, can nobody hear you at all? I can't hear you either. You can just keep your mouth shut, be quiet, and let me talk. Now, you can answer the question. I'm gonna hang up on you. The question is this. What part of the bill came from Trump's team aside from the 600 that came from Mnuchin? So, are you gonna answer the question or no? You got 5 seconds.
What the president is doing about martial law and all this nonsense.
All right, have a nice day. You got to answer the question. You got to play nice. I don't got all day with Ivan, man. So the question is very simple. If Mnuchin said 600, that was his suggestion. What other part of the bill was directly suggested by Trump's team? Let's figure that out, and then we can get to a conclusion about what's going on from there. Very simple. All right, let me get to the next call. 860, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, it's Sonia. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I can't complain about yourself.
All right. I think that when I was listening to you a minute ago, I'm probably behind because you're live. You said that they probably will give everybody $2,000, but they're going to keep the fat in, all the other stuff.
Well, I think the Democrats want to do that. What they want is to give the 2,000, but then keep all the fat. That's what they're trying to say, because on Twitter they're talking about, yeah, we agree with the 2,000, but they're not agreeing. They're not saying anything about the fat being cut. They're just leaving that part totally out, like he didn't even say it at all.
Right, and you really threw me off guard when you said that Lindsey Graham went on there talking about Pakistani women, because I could have never imagined that if I tried. It was hard to hear.
It threw me off guard when I heard it myself. I was, just minding my business in the morning, eating my oatmeal, my little Count bar, chilling. All of a sudden, I see him come on TV talking about, the Pakistani woman, and they don't have bank accounts. I'm like, man, you're doing way too much right now.
And the thing is that if the government wanted us to believe, all their over-exaggerated claims regarding this virus, right? That we're not taking it seriously, that we think it's a hoax, that blah, 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 then maybe they shouldn't make room for things in the bill that have nothing to do with it, because that's a bit confusing. And also maybe they should rename it Global COVID Relief Bill, just so there's no confusion.
Right, exactly. Like, rather than the U.S., just, help everybody else out in the world, and we got to help them with gender assignment and things of that nature.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And you remember way back when Terry Crews was on CNN talking about all the kids that died in the gang shootings and all that in Chicago and other places, and then Don Lemon wanted to make a point that may be true and that is terrible, but that is not the goal of BLM, right? It's about tackling police brutality. Okay, right. Then. So why can't we apply that logic towards this bill?
Exactly. That makes a lot of sense. But, unfortunately, common sense is kind of a rare thing to find nowadays.
And then the other thing, do my eyes deceive me? And that meme that keeps going around where they show all the different places where the money's going, the Smithsonian is getting $1 billion? Is that 9 zeros?
I've not seen that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Because the Smithsonian, they're getting plenty of money. The Kennedy Center, and they're closed. So I'm not sure it's that much money, but I'm not really surprised if it would be that much money.
Well, then I want to identify as Smithsonian, and my pronouns are this, that, and them. Because good grief, they care so much about all of that stuff. And even if, let's just pretend, for argument's sake, that we didn't mind helping other countries or whatever, all that money that they're putting in museums, aquariums, whatever, all those places, like you said, they are closed. We can't even go to them if we wanted to. Is it because they were out of work? I mean, and who can read that document? From what I understand, I think you were the one that said it, that they got it in the afternoon and they didn't even have a chance to read it themselves. So who's in charge of their time management? They couldn't go through it since it was rejected the last time. When do those things come out? And how can they decide on it on the spot?
Yeah, it's impossible to read it. You have 6,000 pages and you got 6 hours. It's not even possible. Like, it's just, and that whole practice right there of, shoving the bill in your face in the 0 hour shouldn't even be legal, because they know you can't read it. So what's the point even giving it to you? At that point, they shouldn't even give it to you. You just say, vote on it, don't read it, because you're not going to have time to read it. That whole process should be illegal.
And one thing I don't understand, because I don't get the strategy, they made us wait this long. I'm surprised they even put something through while Trump is still there, since they're going to get their new president, really soon, and it probably would have been smooth sailing. Any ideas on that? And then I'll let you go on that note.
Say one more time for me.
Like, why would they they made us wait this long, right? And if whoever's going to be in is going to be in around the corner in January. So why did they even try to do it now? I'm surprised they didn't wait until they got Biden, if Biden's going to be there. Then it would have been maybe smooth sailing and no objections. I'm just curious as to the strategy, as to why they did it while they still had Trump there and they have that, clash.
I think it was a deadline they had to do anyway. Something that part was already set ahead of time. So it was just a matter of it was just timing. Okay. That's the way it worked out.
Well, at the end of the day, if it's 600 or 2,000, it don't matter, because it's just a one-time check. That's not going to do anything for anybody long term if they keep everything closed.
Exactly. If you're going to give money out, do that and then open the country back up. If you're going to give the money and keep the country closed, we'll be back here every month talking about kind of get some more, which is crazy. Let us work again.
Exactly. Oh, my God. Well, thanks for taking my call, ABL. Have a good show.
I thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome. Bye.
Yeah. I think that if you're going to give the money, it's because you owe it. You shut us down for the past few months. You owe it. Now open it back up so you don't owe any more money. If the government says, hey, you can't work, ABL, you got to just, not make any money, just, however you can get it, just go out in the street, sell drugs, rob, do whatever you got to do. If they say that to you, then it's like, okay, I've been eating oodles and noodles for the past 6 months. I've been, just trying to make it. I've been homeless or whatever because you're telling me I can't work. So now what you got to do is be able to pay me back for the time that you told me I couldn't work. You kept me out of work. Now you got to pay me back. But now let me go back to work so I can make money for myself. That has to be the case. We're talking about keeping everybody safe, but suicides way up. Homicides way up, drug overdose deaths way up, alcoholism, all of that way up. Everything like that is way up. There's a lot of ancillary effects, a lot of side effects to the quarantining. Aside from just any kind of physical problems, mental problems, financial, all of that, you can't keep it up for this long. The slow to spread, flatten the curve is in March. If we're still doing this whole mask and shutdown thing in March, it's like, all right, that'd be a full year. Are we going to do 2 years, 3 years, 4 years? How long can we continue to do it? And how many more trillions must we go in debt before we just say enough is enough and move on with our lives? They're talking about they got a vaccine, right? And once we get the vaccine, we're back to normal. Then they got a whole new strain in the UK after they got the vaccine. Did the vaccine cause a new strain? I don't know, but they got a new strain. And they shut everything down again. But I thought when you got the vaccine, things be back to normal. Nope. Shut down again. Don't go nowhere. Christmas time, don't go see your friends and family. And Christmas time was the worst time to do this because that's when you have more suicides and stuff like that during the holidays. But then you're going to shut everybody. It's crazy. But let me get to the next call. All right, calling on speaker to 757.
Yes, my name's Jonathan.
All righty, man. What's going on?
Not much. How you doing?
Can't complain too much.
I appreciate the channel.
Oh, no problem, man. Do it for y'all. So what's going on?
Well, first off, I can't stand YouTube I'm going to go ahead and let you know. I haven't been watching your channel long, maybe a month and a half, but I used to get your feeds all the time, and now I can't even get your feeds. So I got to basically search for you just to even watch any of your shows, which is aggravating because I used to get that pop up saying, hey, there's something going on. Now I can't. So I really don't like the censorship that is going on with your channels and all that because it hurts people's channels, and I don't enjoy that. And I don't enjoy the fact that I don't understand why Congress can't just give money to the people for their businesses that they cripple. And why can't we just give money to, if you're going to give a check to someone so they can survive a little bit, $2,000, whatever it's going to be, why can't we just have that in the bill and leave all the other junk completely out? I mean, I don't see the complication. It doesn't take rocket scientists to do this. Pass a bill for a check to give to people to help them out. Pass a bill to get money into people's businesses and leave the other stuff out. We don't need that crap right now. You can always just come back to the table down the road. I just don't understand that. I don't understand why politicians have to make something simple complicated. I mean, I'm a simple man. I could go do that. It's not. I just don't see the problem.
Right. Exactly.
It's irritating.
I'm with you 100%.
You know, and I don't understand the racism. I mean, you know, I'm a white man, got family, you know, Native American family and bloodline. You know, we're all probably mixed with whoever, you know, according to if you go get your DNA tested. I've never had conflict with any of my neighbors of any color, gay, straight, white, black, green, purple, yellow, it don't matter. But yet when I noticed when Trump got elected, I was an independent and I voted for Obama. And because I fell for that hope and change. And I was like, you know, maybe he could unite the country. I really felt that. And I was like, you know, we're going on a good path. And then once I started seeing policies and everything, it kind of turned my stomach a little bit because then it just wasn't there and it wasn't believable. And then I sit there and Trump come along, still an independent. I was like, what do I have to lose? It's either him or Hillary. And I was like, I'm gonna take a chance on Trump. I voted for Trump. Then I watched the news, Fox News, which is they might as well be a Trojan horse going into Greece from the old times because they let just say whatever comes to mind. And now they seem like they want to turn on the president. And I even believe in respecting the president, even when Obama was president. Respect the office. Just because I have my opinions and didn't like policies, I still respect the office. But when Trump took over, I started watching. I watched CNN. I watched Fox News. I watched C-SPAN. You know, I just watched all the channels. That's how I get my news, to be informative about everything. And you can just see all the negativity that they throw at this man. And it started turning me. And for the first time in my life, I went and registered as a Republican for 2020 because I was like, that's how disgusted I was with everything. I was like, I'm just getting away from it all. And this is where my views are lining up. I go and vote for Trump a second time. And then I still notice the attacks and everything else. Now, do I agree with Trump on the tweeting sometimes and saying stuff? No. But do I agree to stand up for our country, defend our country, respect our veterans who sacrifice and go over to these foreign lands and to defend this country? You know, I respect that. And I respect our flag. And to see people now just talk trash about our military, talk trash about our flag. My wife works for the government, and there's just all this negativity now towards that, including people who work for the government. And then when you live in a neighborhood, I don't see Nancy Pelosi or politicians running around in my neighborhood to see what's going on. Do I have conflict with my neighbor who's a Black American man? No. We speak to each other. We throw our hands up. None of us are going out there. He ain't yelling at me saying Black Lives Matter, and I'm not yelling at him going, the South's going to rise again or some dumb crap like that. We get along. Because we're human beings, we get along. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I mean, nothing wrong with loving your neighbor or helping out. I mean, I believe in, the old times, you help somebody. Your word meant something. Nowadays, your word don't mean nothing. We teach our kids to hate this country. We teach our kids to, hey, you might not be the best quarterback on the football team or whatever, but we're giving you a participation trophy because you showed up. We don't care that we lose every game. When I played school sports or whatnot, if you weren't good, you didn't play. Now, if you get kicked off the team because you're not good, hey, maybe that's just not your sport. I like basketball, but guess what? I'm no good at it. I don't play basketball. I was better at playing football or baseball,
right,
or whatnot. So, sometimes that's just not your thing. But yet, a parent will run over there, get a coach fired, or complain enough because little Johnny didn't get his chance to play, and it's just ruining this country. I mean, to me, I have a grandson, my firstborn grandson. He was born this year, unfortunately, in 2020, and he's mixed. He's half Mexican, are Latino, and he's, you know, and trust me, I'm not politically correct, so if I say something wrong, I apologize. It's just, you know, he's mixed, and I fear when he gets older, and this is a fear for me, is he going to be taught to hate his white half, his mother or his grandfather, which is me, because now he's going to walk around going, well, I'm this because that's what they say I should be. I got to distance myself from y'all. And that bothers me. It puts fear in me for my own grandson, because I don't want him to look at me like it's bad for me to be white, you know, just like, you know, nobody wants that. And these politicians, have you ever seen a poor politician? I mean,
not on a major, not on a national level in the United States, not at all.
No, and I mean, you know, I moved to Baltimore for work because of my wife's job, took us here, and I got up here and it's different. I mean,
right. I'm sorry, caller. I'm in the country, but I got a lot more calls on the line, so you got to wrap your story up real quick.
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. I was just saying, you move up here, and I'm not from here. Just to see the despair in the city when I have to drive to the city and see that, and you're wondering, well, what are they doing with all this money? You know, that they're supposedly getting. Why don't they fix their cities up, their roads, and do things and give opportunities to people? It's just kind of depressing and stuff. But I appreciate your channel very much, and I will do my best to continue to watch it.
All right, thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you, and you have a blessed day, sir.
Same to you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
All right, bye.
All right, shout out to the caller. All right, let's get to a few more here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. So if you enjoy what you're hearing so far, give me a thumbs up on the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. 3, 2, 1, your line, I'm speaking to.
Hi, ABL. My name is Noah Rios from Brooklyn, New York. Also, I'm 11, and I want to talk about how crazy the stimulus check was. And to me, it was so crazy how the Democrats just kept all that money to themselves. And right now, I'm talking about the stimulus check and how I think about it. And when I heard this, I was like, I got confused because, like, I just didn't know what to say about it. So, but right now, I'm hoping that Trump will veto it by now. So, and right now, I just hope he's doing that. And my dad works at the postal service, and he works hard, and he comes home. So, like, I'm confused. Why doesn't, like, all that money that the Democrats took to themselves give it to the hardworking people and the other working jobs?
You know, that's a really good point. You know, it should go to the American people. It shouldn't be going to their friends and their family. You know, they give money to the Kennedy Center, which is owned by the government. So you're taking government money and giving more of it to a government-owned thing. It doesn't make any sense. It's just a bunch of people that they call lobbyists. They go out there to D.C. and then they ask for favors for their friends and for companies. And that's what's happening right now. A lot of that money is going to lobbyists. If it's a virus relief bill, it should be about the virus and giving it to your father, giving it to your family to help you guys out during this time. But they're not doing that because you have a lot of corruption happening right now in Washington, D.C. And it shouldn't be that way. And I think Trump will veto it because he understands what's happening with the corruption. And it's not a very good thing. Not good for anybody in the country.
Yeah. So, that's all I wanted to talk about, like the veto and like what's going on, like the stimulus check, everything.
Well, I thank you for the call. I definitely appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right, now. Wow, that's crazy. 11 years old, man. Wow. Man, when I was 11, what was I even doing? Oh my goodness, like what, 7th grade? Politics was nowhere even anywhere at. Hey, Dad, if you're watching, the little boy's father, hey, if you're watching, you're doing a very good job, sir. Hats off to you, man. You know, you're teaching them right from a young age. So thank you for doing what you're doing, sir, for raising your youngins right. All right. Let me see. Let me get to some more calls here. 201, you're on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hello.
Yes, who am I speaking to?
Hi, ABL. This is Jesus down here in Texas, and I've been watching your program for quite a while already and stuff. And this bill that these people are trying to pass, I totally agree with, and I know Trump already said they could take the bill and stick it. There's no way he's going to sign it. It's kind of ridiculous how the Democrats try to infiltrate on their agenda with these policies and stuff. This bill that they want to pass to finance other things outside of the United States and of the people of this country, when this country is in need also. But, you know, my thing is also that if they keep giving money out, okay, I understand everybody is strapped and stuff like that, and, you know, things are pretty tight everywhere. Businesses, small businesses are shutting down and all that. And I know that they could definitely use the help and stuff, but something's got to give. You know, you can't be throwing money out and giving it to other foreign countries and stuff like that and trying to solve their problem when we have a major problem here right now, you know. And my thing is we should just get all back to work and never mind this giving out money to businesses and stuff like that, because they really would like to get back into business. And I know if we were to start them up and give them, you know, a certain amount of money to start them back and then keep this COVID was all this crap that's going on with the COVID right now. It was causing all this problem. And that's the reason why a lot of these places, these businesses and stuff like that, they're not doing anything because nobody is really coming up with the right idea, you know? And I have a lot of mixed feelings about that because I was working and unfortunately I was laid off, okay? And I was there for about 5 years. I was working for a food company down here in Texas. And they laid me off because of COVID. Now, it wasn't really like a layoff. I was furloughed, and then all of a sudden they got in touch with me 3 months later and said they don't need me anymore. So they downsized, okay? Mm-hmm. I got no problem with that, okay? I'm 65, you know, so I'm going to retire anyway, you know. But it hurts to see that this is how they did things. This is what they're doing, you know? And I'm very upset because they don't have a plan. You know, they just keep coming up with the COVID and they just keep throwing this on everybody. They keep locking everything down now, you know. And even I wanted to ask you, I heard that they even shut down up in Tennessee for the businesses and stuff like that. They want people to stay home all the way to like probably the mid of January or probably into February and stuff. So they want a lot of people.
They said that, but anybody following that, like where I live is jam packed. You can go anywhere, no mask on. Like I went to the burger bar today, it was packed. So we pretty much do whatever we want. Like I think the only place where they really do that is like Nashville, and that's still kind of open too.
Right. Yeah. Well, down here in Texas, we're pretty much open too.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is moving. I can't even get into the stores with all the chaos that's going on. Everybody's shopping and everything. There's traffic everywhere and stuff like that, you know. And I see a lot of people, they're not wearing the mask. Some do. Some stores, they do keep the restriction, you know. And I respect that, you know. I wear my mask when I go inside when I have to. A lot of times I don't, you know, and I forget and I leave them in my car. But there's a lot of things out there that's really, you know, they you know, like these liberal states and stuff. I'm born and raised in New York, you know, and that let me tell you something. What Cuomo's doing up there and de Blasi, it's a total disgrace, man. You know, that's why everybody's leaving. And nobody wants to stay there because they're under dictatorship. You can't do this, you can't do that. You know, businesses are hurting and all that. And the people, I don't know, what are they, asleep? New York are very, very vigilant, very aggressive people. They should be, you know, protesting and saying, hey, enough is enough. We can't do this, you know? And I've been to Tennessee a lot, so, you know, come to think of it, I was there just a couple of months ago. I drove through there and everything, and it was pretty cool, you know. We stopped at a couple of places, and we ate and stuff like that. And I know I went to, what's the name, that coffee shop, Starbucks, and the lady stopped me at the door because
the
I
mask,
didn't wear a mask. Yeah, she said, sir, before you come in, you have to wear a mask. And I said, I'm sorry, let me go get my mask. Because I wanted to get that coffee anyway. But, you know, I have a lot of respect for protocol. But what I don't like is the demand that this is the way it's going to be, even if this bill later on passes, okay? You still got to wear a mask. You still got to be under quarantine. This is bull. You know what I mean? Enough is enough. People are getting better. They're coming up with all these, you know, the social media is not even that they're just lying to the people and stuff like that, you know. And a lot of the good news they're not reporting. All they're reporting is a lot of havoc, you know,
right,
and fear on people and stuff like that. And I'm tired of that crap.
I hear you, man. 100%. Well, I'm sorry. I'm gonna cut you right here, but I got a few more calls on the line. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Oh man, I appreciate you. You have a good Christmas, okay?
Same to you now. Merry Christmas.
All right, man. Bye-bye.
All right, let's get to a few more here. Let's go 209 on the line. Who am I speaking to? 209, hello. All right, going once. Going twice. Sorry, 209, couldn't hear you. Got to tighten your phone up. Put some more minutes on the about my phone. All right, let's get to the next one. 734 on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hello, ABL Antonio from Detroit.
All right, man. What's going on?
What's up, man? I ain't talking to you in a minute. I want to ask you a question. Okay. Did you watch the Dan Bongino show when they say Nancy Pelosi took too long to override this decision? She got 10 days to Congress, the new Congress come in, and she wasted time.
Well, no, I didn't even see that. No, I gotta check that out.
Yeah, that's one thing about it. Look at Dan Bongino. Nancy Pelosi messed up. The Democrats messed up when they waited too long to pass this bill, and now Trump can veto it when not saying he vetoed it. He can sit on it.
Oh yeah,
he cancel it.
Yeah,
it won't go in the law.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's all I'll let you know. But like I said, I'm gonna let you know this, bro. Like I said, I think Trump got a plan to win this election. I hope the senators and the Democrats in the House and the Senate veto a lot of these unlawful votes. Hello?
I mean, I'm listening to you.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to tell you, dog. That's what I wanted to tell you. And coming from Detroit, our warlord dictator Whitmore lowered my job. I'm working under 5 people on my shift, and my business is getting slowly cut down.
Yeah, that's terrible, man. It's really crazy. And the thing is, it's like, okay, they want to do these the stimulus, all this and that, but it's like we got to get back to work, to normal life, because you can't keep this up. It's got to come to an end at a certain point.
Yes, I have 16 employees in my store. I just got my store last year.
Right.
And now she's trying to shut me down. Now I'm going to cut off a lot of my employees, and it's hurt my business.
Right. It's crazy because,
like
you know, your employees, they got families and everything else, and you trying to run your business, it's hurting everybody.
Everybody. And then before this pandemic hit, I was about to open up my second restaurant.
Right.
And it cut me down.
That's terrible.
But look at that damn Bongino thing. When Nancy Pelosi took too long to do it, and that's why they saying, "Oh, we agreed $2,000. We agreed $2,000 people," because they're running out of time. So Trump can veto it and sit down on it, and don't have to veto it. Don't have to say nothing. The Democrats and the Republican rhinos expose themselves. They don't care about the American people.
Very, very good point. I didn't think about that. He could just say, I'm gonna just not move at all and just let it sit. Good point.
Yeah, look it up, bro. Thank you, man, for having my phone call. So I ain't calling you in like 6 months, but thank you, man. Have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you, man. Thank you for the call.
All right, bye-bye.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a really good point. He could just say, you know what, whatever. I'm gonna just sit on it and that's it. Very good point. Okay, let's get to some more here. Number to call 434-658-1220. Let's go 712. You're on the line. Who am I speaking to? 712. Hello.
How you doing, Anthony?
Doing pretty good. About yourself?
I'm doing great. The reason I'm calling is I haven't heard anything about this, but with Biden getting so many votes, like 80 million plus votes, it makes me kind of think to myself, well, basically Obama didn't win for himself. Biden won it for him 2 times in a row.
You know what? That's hilarious because, you know, that's what it would seem like if all you saw was just this election and then 2018 and 2012. It'd make sense, right? But then we forget that that Biden ran for president twice before and it was a disaster both times. But then all of a sudden, but then in the later years of his life, in the twilight of his career, he just became this superstar politician that ran the table every single time and was just, you know, performing better than anybody else ever could have done. And he's 78 years old. He performs the very best out of his entire career and gets 80 plus million votes. Marvelous.
Yeah, exactly. And so basically Obama would have never won without him if he didn't pick up. Everybody's won for Biden back then in 08.
That's right. That's right. Even though when he ran when he was younger in 88, it was a disaster. And then in 2008, right. Well, actually, didn't he run for president in 08 and didn't make anything? And then he became the vice president and then he became like a superstar?
Yeah, he kind of was to Obama what Kamala was to him.
Correct.
They were kind of conflicting back and forth, and then he picks him as his VP running mate.
Right. Hilarious.
Yeah. Another thing, too, like Biden's always kind of seemed, you know, confrontational towards everybody. Every time you see an interview going back 30, 40 years, anytime anybody asks him a question, he's always confrontational. No matter what, it seems like if he can't answer the question, like you brought up 88, he was confrontational against the media and people asking him questions about like his schooling and everything of that nature, like, you know, not doing that well and, you know, having to drop out. I remember seeing Sam talking about him dropping out of the race and, you know, it was kind of in disgrace back. It's acceptable, you know, to lie basically.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He is always kind of conversational, always trying to like, you know, fake tough guy, fake, you know, Philadelphia, all the women said not Philadelphia, that kind of thing going on. Yeah, I noticed that. And then even in this election cycle with some of the people that might vote for him, you want to do a push-up contest, hey fat. Yeah, that's pretty much his whole MO.
And I heard the other day, like he was even kind of politicized.
You're cutting out, boss. I can't hear you.
With his current wife.
Say it one more time because you kind of cut out a little bit.
Yeah, I heard the other day he was even politicizing, like going over and checking out his, respecting his wife's grave. Like it was on the news. It's like if you had a wife that passed, you'd probably want to do that in private, I would think.
Yeah, you might want to do that in private. Yeah, for sure, because that's kind of a personal, like really, really personal moment. It's not really something you do for the camera.
Yeah, I think he's always kind of politicized that, like throughout his career, going, like stating, going back and forth from Delaware to Washington, Delaware to Washington. And I've always kind of found it fishy, strange that when his wife did die in 1972, they were going to get a tree like exactly 1 week before the Christmas on the 17th or 18th. I think it was the 18th. Why would he be in Washington on a Monday night? You think they'd go get the tree over the weekend, and they have a newborn baby, like a year-old baby, whatever. Going to get a tree, it makes you wonder, like, why would that happen? You know what I mean? Like 1 week before, why didn't he just do it over the weekend?
I can't call it. I don't know nothing. That's a good question, though.
It just seems kind of strange, like how many people go get a tree and put it on top of the roof and have a bunch of kids in the car. It just seems strange.
Yeah, true.
But anyway, I digress.
All right. Well, thank you for the call, man.
Anyway,
Definitely appreciate you.
Happy holidays and take care. Bye.
Same to you now. Appreciate you. All righty. Okay, 3161, you're on the line. I'm speaking to.
Hey, ABL. From the Netherlands. How are you, man?
I'm doing pretty good. About yourself?
Pretty good. It's pretty late here, but it's okay. Yes. Hey, I want to say first on the relief, on the COVID relief bill. I hear everybody say that's like very much different spending and stuff like that. That shouldn't be in the COVID relief bill. Well, today I listened to the Ben Shapiro show, and he told in his show that it's an omnibus bill. So the thing is, it's a COVID relief bill combined with a government spending, a government funding bill through September, I believe. So that's why there are so many different weird things in it. I mean, the Smithsonian and stuff like that shouldn't be in there for sure. But all the other things that are in there that don't seem to mean anything to do with COVID. It's because it's also combined with the spending bill to fund the government. I believe it's through September. So that's why it's such a huge amount of money in total with all those different things combined. That's why it's an omnibus. And I believe he said today that it was, I believe he said it was Mitch McConnell that had combined the COVID bill with the funding of the government bill because of the shortness of time. So that's why there are so many different things in there that don't seem to be related to the COVID relief funds. So I believe it's an omnibus bill, and it should be a separate relief package for COVID, and the government funding should be done in another bill. But I believe it's because of time they combine it in this omnibus, and they put all the pork in it, and they try to ram it through. But it's really like the government funding, I believe, through September, combined with a bit of COVID relief. So that's why I believe that's why it is. What do you say?
Well, I mean, there shouldn't be, if aside from the government spending, that's a whole different situation. There shouldn't be anything in the virus bill that is
Agreed.
For anything else other than the virus. And the government spending is one
Correct.
thing, but the virus stimulus is something else.
Yeah, that's correct. But I believe they have combined it in this omnibus bill, the government spending bill. They have combined it with the COVID relief bill so that they can put it together in this omnibus bill because of the shortness of time. That's what I believe I got from what I heard Shapiro say today. And yeah, that's why and I'm sure the $600 is ridiculous, and I believe it should be $2,000 for all that I know. But really, I believe that's the reason why it seems so ridiculous, all the things in the COVID relief bill, which it's called, but it's actually a government spending bill and also the COVID relief bill combined, and that's stupid. I realize that, of course.
Right, absolutely.
Yes, and that's so. I just want to say that they should do a separate bill for COVID relief. That's the answer. That's the correct answer, I believe.
100%. Well, thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Yes. And happy Christmas, ABL.
I'm sorry.
So happy Merry Christmas, ABL.
Oh, thank you for that. Merry Christmas.
Yes. Okay. Have a nice one. Bye-bye.
Bye. RIP headphone users. It's not my fault. I don't know what happened with that. I'm sorry if you get headphones. I get headphones too, and I'm dead right now. I can't hear at all. All right. So let's go ahead and try to get that tightened up. And I think we're going to be good. There we go. All right. That'll be it for the calls. Thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on the internet. If you couldn't get in tonight, it's not my fault. We got to blame the white man. Try to call in again. I'll be back Saturday because it's not going to be Christmas Day. I may do a video tomorrow, maybe I won't, but definitely I'll be off on Christmas, and I will most certainly be back on Saturday after Christmas. And yeah, we'll do a show again after Christmas on the 26th, which is Saturday, 8 p.m. Hey, sorry for the headphone stuff. It's not my fault. You got to blame the white man and blame Skype. I had my settings turned down. I don't know what happened. It didn't. It was my fault. So say he's doing. Hey, I didn't do it. But thank you all. We got super chats on deck. I'm gonna read those right quick, and then we're gonna wrap it on up. Put the bow on the top. So let me get to the super chats where I was, and then we keep on moving. Thank you to. Let me see. Hold on. Let me get back to where I was. Conservative Mindset says, Merry Christmas to all the free-thinking Americans. Keep up the good work, ABL. Thank you for that. Most certainly appreciate you. Let me see. One just came in from Dion the Market Slayer. Thank you for that, boss. Says, I wouldn't care what was combined. Why are we using my tax dollars to pay for gender studies in Pakistan? Everyone in Pakistan doesn't even have a toilet in 2020, and we're worried about their gender. I mean, excellent point. I feel you 1,000%. All right, 1,000%. Absolutely. Okay. Shout out to Masood Tara, who says Muslim support for Trump went from 14% in 2016 to 35% in 2020. Trump is influencing all demographics. Let me see. Bearbay01 says, you just reminded me, head to Newegg to pick parts. I got that one. Thank you to Butt versus Windshield, who says the fix for the smoke detector is a well-aimed flip-flop. Hilarious. Because somebody called in earlier and the smoke detector was kind of acting up. You could hear it on the phone. Thank you to Kendrick Silverman, who says, yo, this is the second time I got told by the chat to manage to change my alarm battery. Fam, that's just my voice. That's how I sound. I got a broken Samsung as well. So yeah, my voice is weird. No. That's not your voice, Kendrick. That's your smoke detector. That beep, that is smoke detector. You have a low battery. So get you a 9-volt battery. Go to Target, Walmart, Amazon, wherever you got to go. Get you a 9-volt battery. Replace it. And the beep will be gone. Okay? That's what you got to do. Hashtag not my smoke detector. I got brand new everything. And then I went to Costco and got me a pack of those 5-year Duracell 9-volts. I'm good money. If I hear one chirp, I'm instantly going up, getting the battery, throwing it in there. I'm talking about NASCAR pit crew. I'm replacing that Jane ASAP, but I digress. Thank you to Mitch Girl POV, who says, Merry Christmas to you and your family. Thanks for everything you do. Blessings to you. Well, I appreciate you for that. Thank you, Mitch Girl POV. 1,000. Shout out to Akemi Anderson. If I tore your name up, I'm sorry, it's not my fault. Who says, I watch you and Brandon every day. Thanks for giving your insight during these crazy times. Can I get a shout out? I sing in a conservative band. Check out Trebo's Little Drummer Boy on YouTube. Yeah, so check out, I think I saw them. I looked them up when I was on the stream. Trebo's Little Drummer Boy. That's TREEBO. So I put it right here in the chat. And there we go. Yeah, if you get in that virus stimulus, put that towards a hole in smoke alarm detector, the whole squad. Oh yeah, hey, at where I was living before, they had an old security system set up with a chime on it, like an alarm system, and it was a small earthquake in the area, And for some reason, that made everybody's battery, like in the whole neighborhood, just not work for some reason. So it's one of these big batteries that goes into your wall. But anyway, I had to replace that because I was hearing beeping and I didn't know where it was coming from because my phone said it was straight. Everything was straight with that. I'm checking that and everything is good. Smoke alarms, everything is fine. But I didn't realize what that was happening with that. So I tried to fix it. You know, I'm pushing buttons, my alarm's going off, neighbors are coming out looking like, you know, somebody breaking in your house. What's happening? Because the actual chime went off like somebody breaking in my house. So I had to call the landlord and figure out what the code was. And then I had to go to Batteries Plus to get this whole big battery. It was like the size of, like, I don't know, some kind of cubicle. It was weird. But yeah, I had to replace that. That was an emergency situation to fix that battery because that chirping drive you crazy. It drive you up a wall. Wolfgang says the 6K page bill is very easy to deal with. If there's any law in there, nay. If it were just funding, yay. Just a first level analysis. Wolfgang says, as for the pork, only relief is undoing lockdowns. As such, even the pork is okay. By seeding U.S. dollars everywhere, we are maintaining the value of U.S. dollars. Wolfgang also says, well, I'm going to pause you right there. If we're seeding U.S. dollars all over the place to maintain it, what are we doing by printing all the U.S. dollars? Isn't that devaluing it? The more money that we have that's just printed out of thin air, doesn't that cause inflation, therefore lessening the value of the U.S. dollar? Also, isn't the U.S. dollar kind of held up by, number one, the U.S. military, also number two, being the reserve currency of petroleum? I'm getting a little bit deep, but so I digress. Wolfgang also says, at second level of analysis, the bill should not have happened. However, the most important thing is maintaining the U.S. dollar one time. Also like the caravan of future Democratic voters, by seeding U.S. dollars around the world, we can improve situations and keep refugees from coming here first. Hudson Jackson II says, we need to launch an Occupy Capitol Hill movement and demand that Congress and the president make China pay us reparations. The Chi-Coms are the ones who destroy our economy. We Are One, that's a good name. It's spelled W-I-I like Nintendo Wii. We Are One says, that unsubscribe is real. And gets notification for 2 weeks. Wow. It's crazy. Wolfgang says, our 50% of Americans do not know about Operation Warp Speed. If true, what business do they have voting? Seriously, if someone knows nothing, good point. No one says to try calling in first time ever. Lines are busy, not a problem, not a bad problem to have. Merry Christmas, Anthony. God bless you and thank you for what you do. Thank you for your very kind words and your donation. Holly T. Lightwork says, gender studies is covered for something else. Pakistan is Muslim. I'm pretty sure they don't need it because they are against LGBTQ 100 robbery. There you go. Thinking with your brain. James says, why not sue BLM and Antifa and the Democrats for all the vandalism? Good point. David Delasco says, thank you, Wood Chips in Michigan, for staying open during the lockdown. Or do we are currently in, if you live in the area, support them? Let me see. And Nippon says, Merry Christmas, ABL. You guys are lucky to have one in the States. I think we got cut off when I connected to you. I really hope I can get through. Hey, it's all good, man. We'll get through in the next one. But thank you for your donation, man. Definitely appreciate you. You calling about the lockdown? That's crazy. I saw that UK was under another lockdown. Really ridiculous. And there's no purpose because you got the vaccine right for the first one. You're deploying it. And then you want to go on lockdown again. So if the vaccine is going to work and get us back to normal, then why are you doing yet another lockdown because of a different strain? So if we get a vaccine, everybody gets it, and here comes a new strain, what are they going to do then? It's the same thing with the flu. People are getting the flu shot, but then it's ineffective because of a new flu virus strain. So what happens then? People are saying, hey, when we get the vaccine, everything will be fine. We'll be back open. But then here comes another strain that is totally not even responding to the vaccine. What are you going to do then? I don't know. But thank y'all for being here. You guys are the best. Shout out to the Nickerman who says, my friends are upset with Chipotle. This is fake news about mandatory vaccination. And what else? So is that what they're going to be doing in Chipotle? I don't know anything about that. And shout out to the mods for keeping the chat under control. You guys are the best. You guys know who you are. To everyone, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas Eve, and enjoy your holiday. Hang out, friends, family. You know how to protect yourself. You guys are mostly adults. If you're not adults, you have parents that know what to do. So you guys know what to do. Just do that. You know what the risks are. You know what you know all of that. I have no reason to lecture you. You do what you want to do. Take your life into your own hands. That's what I'm gonna do. I know what the risks are. I know how to protect myself. I'm gonna do that. It's just like getting in my car and driving. Yeah, it could be a crash. Yeah, it could be a wreck. But guess what? I'm gonna drive safely. I put on my seatbelt. I do what I do to protect myself. That's it. Simple. All right. But that's all I got for tonight. You guys have been the best. If you're not subscribed to the channel for some reason, you might be a new viewer. You may have been unsubscribed or whatever the case. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel right now and click that bell while you're at it so you get notified whenever I go live and or post a new video. Also, if you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoyed the content, give me a thumbs up on the video. So I like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. Also, go to my website, anthonyblogan.com. I have original articles on there about what's happening with some particular things. And I think what I'm going to do next year, I'm going to revitalize my ABL gaming channel. And on that channel, what I'm going to do is just like gaming related news, entertainment, that type of stuff, movies, TV, music, gaming, just entertainment stuff on that channel. That'll be what it is. If I got to find some time, carve some time out, but that's what I want to do in 2020 going forward is to get that one going. Also, I think I'm going to do alternative platforms aside from my website and aside from YouTube to put up my political content because I see that they might try to shadow ban and not really letting my stuff get out there the way it's supposed to be. So I have that set up as an alternative. But you can always, regardless of what happens, they might be having some things with YouTube. It might get kind of weird on YouTube. It might get weird on Facebook. It might get weird on Twitter. It might get weird on Instagram. I'll always have my website, anthonyblogan.com. Never fails. That's all I got for tonight. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.